What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Let's Talk Live podcast. This is episode 22, and we're going to take part 2 in our Grant Amato interrogation. I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into it this evening because this is a long interrogation, and I want to get right into this. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to try to do the last 3 hours. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I may just bust this down into a 2-hour stream. And then tomorrow I have it set up for 10 a.m. Sunday morning to do the rest of the stream. And then I'll come back tomorrow night and do an Idaho stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So lots of things going on here. And then Monday, I'm going to start the Grant Amato trial. I believe there were 7 days in the trial. So we're going to do 7 episodes, 7 days, the Grant Amato trial. Giving a little bit of a break here on Idaho. I'm sure there's probably 10 streams running right now with Idaho content on it. And, I'm going to give my thoughts on all of that tomorrow night and tomorrow night's episode. But without further ado, we're going to do this. And real quick, I just want to address one thing really quick. So Detective John came on the show last night, and the call was completely spontaneous. Detective John and I've seen him in my chat a few times, and we've exchanged emails like once. And I said, hey, you should come on the show sometime. So last night he was in the chat. I was here. He was here. I dropped the number and allowed him to come onto the panel. It was a spontaneous show. We didn't have anything planned. And I basically wanted to give him the floor to express what was going on and hear his side of what he thought was going on in the Idaho case. So as far as all the comments and the politicking and all that, I don't get involved in it. I barely watch anybody else's channels because I've said this from the beginning when I started my channel. I don't watch a lot of other creators because I don't want that to cloud my vision for this channel and my perspective on the Idaho case or whatever other cases are going on. Everybody has their own case. Everyone has their own channel. Everybody does their own thing. I respect that. There's some creators I like. There's some creators I don't like. It's fine. I'm not going to sit here and bag on creators on my channel. I don't do that. We keep that off this channel, and I just worry about things that go on here. So again, I wanted to just put that out in the ether. The Detective John call last night was completely spontaneous. I know he lives about 3,000 miles away from me, so a cell connection was a little janky through the call, and that was literally the first time that I've ever talked to him. So just to give a little background and some context in that. As far as all the other stuff that's going on other channels, I have no idea about it. I don't get involved in the politicking. That's not what I do here. I just want to do true crime stories. That's all I'm really worried about. I don't politic. I don't get in the middle of it. So just wanted to set the record straight on that. And I'm sure that if anybody else is brought into this, they could be like, I don't even know who that dude is. So, because I don't talk about other channels. The only other channel that I've done collabs with in the past is I've done a couple of shows with Drunk Turkey. I've done a couple of shows with Publicly Buzzed. And I've done a couple of shows with Titanium Built. As far as everybody else, I've never had them on my panel, never gone on their panel. In my opinion, you know, I'm very selective of who I work with or who I ask to come on my panel, and I can because it's my show. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Just set the record straight on that. But without further ado, I do want to get into this interrogation. We're starting getting to the tipping point of it as I got this stream shut down last night, and we'll keep powering through here. So here we go. Grant, Egghead, Alien Head, Amato. Let's do this.
Any physical fist fights, Andy? No.
When we were super young, but besides that, no.
So living at home is who?
Me, Cody, Dad, and Mom.
Tell me about your mom.
My mom has, she's always been the, it's kind of like Cody. She's always been the one that focused on me, and she worked at home.
What'd she do?
She was, God, I do not, like something manager, like a client manager for Nuance Transcription Company.
What's that?
Basically, Nuance, their major thing is medical transcription.
Okay.
So it's just all the things that the doctors are saying while you're in the hospital. And then,
would she make sure that those all got transcribed?
She would manage the people who did all the transcriptions, and then she had a couple people where there's like the managers over those people that then she would also take care of. And I think she was in the stage now where she was kind of branching out to different countries. So she had just gotten like this Canada account, I think, where she had to basically do the same thing, but now it's just all
she had a good job.
Oh yeah,
good paying job. It sounds like.
And yeah, she only, I think she told me that she completed high school. But if she didn't, then she didn't have a high school diploma, or she did. I honestly can't remember. And with that, when she first started doing everything, like with my dad, she was just a medical transcriptionist, so she's making like $35,000 a year or something like that. But now she had worked her way all the way up to making about $90,000 a year at this job. Stressful as hell. You know,
hard work pays off.
I'd hear her complain and do all that stuff.
Where was her office at?
You come down the staircase and then it's right to the right. So it's like, it's got like a potted plant in there. It's got like a bay window. Or like 3 windows.
No, when I say office.
At home?
She worked at home?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said she worked at...
Oh no, she works for Nuance.
Oh, okay.
But she works from home.
Gotcha.
So it's like where like all of our internet and crap is against like the wall.
Like a home office?
Yeah,
exactly. Work out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like originally a dining room, but then it was transitioned into like her office. And
Fights and fusses with mom, or
no, I mean,
were you the baby? You were truly the family baby?
For my mom.
Yeah. Okay.
For my mom.
Mom's favorite?
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, I had been being told that, because again, it's like this last 6 or 7 months was just like stressful for everybody.
Sure.
And, you know, countless times my dad would like come up to me and he'd make like me feel like, he'd try and use things and word things to make me feel guilty so that I would, you know, do everything that I can, like get a job.
Almost like a motivation.
Right. And he'd tell me time and time again that, you know, you're her favorite. I mean, she would do anything for you. And I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't need to hear that. I mean, that's not what would motivate me.
Sure.
But no, with mom, I think we yelled at each other a grand total of like 3 or 4 times my whole life.
Yeah, right.
I've never like yelled at her for anything, because I mean, she's never done anything wrong. She's always been the one who's
stood by you.
Stood by me, but tried to, you know, even during our early childhood when it was really rough with our dad.
Why is that?
My dad's a Leo type A, Italian personality man. He's very focused on his future. He's very focused on everything that he's sacrificed in his life for the betterment of all of us. You know, like he's always dreamed of going hiking up in the mountains. They have a property up in Tennessee that they built. And me and Cody and Jason have never been up to that house, just because
mom and dad hide that from you. That's our secret hideaway.
A little bit.
No kids allowed.
A little bit, but I mean,
Have you seen the pictures of it?
Oh yeah. It's nice. It's
so if I remember, this is kind of weird, this version of this interrogation, because it gets through this part and then it skips and goes back. So I'm probably going to fast forward that when it does that skip. It's really strange. I don't know. It was an editing mistake or something like that.
I think my dad has emphasized it's about half the size of.
This guy is the biggest beta male I've ever seen in my entire life.
The house out in
He's
Julia,
super
where we
beta,
grew up.
super beta energy.
But it's, I mean, super modern. It's got like the brick layout on the whole thing. It's on like 4 or 6 acres or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And where's it at? Tennessee, you said?
Tennessee, and it's
Is this up in the place like they rent the rental cabin areas where a lot of touristy people?
No, it's very secluded.
Okay.
It's God, why am I so terrible at remembering these things? It
Because
is
you blasted your parents away, and that's on your mind, and you're gonna get
like an
caught.
hour out from Gatlinburg.
Okay.
God, I can't remember. But
It's
it's
that kind of general area.
It's very
Beta,
secluded. It's like you see a house like on the satellite thing, and then it's got like acres and acres and
totally.
acres of trees, and then you might see like
Super
another
beta,
house
bro.
right over there. And then off like the back end of their property, they would send us pictures where it's got like the guardrail, but it overlooks like a valley.
Mhm.
So that property had actually been causing my dad a lot of stress because I think it's been built for like 5 or 6 years. He only goes up there once every month, once every couple months, just to do maintenance, not to like enjoy it.
Mhm.
And then every like other month, him and my mom would go up there for like a week.
Mhm.
But again, it's like my mom would always just be like, you know, I'm working every day. Like we're doing stuff in the yard, we're clearing this, clearing that.
Didn't get to enjoy that.
Right. And then my dad, apparently there was like this hog issue up there that it's been destroying his lawn, you know, everything that they're maintaining.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he was like stressing about all the money that's costing him, and yeah, so like, yeah, I guess back to your original statement with my mom. Never any issues. I mean, it was always like if there was somebody that I could talk to and like Cody wasn't available,
My
I'd
mom
always
was a
talk to my
Leo.
mom. I'd always let her
Not
know what's
Italian.
going on. Yeah, I mean, she would help me out through anything.
Okay. Tell me about Dad.
Dad,
What does he do?
Dad's a pharmacist.
Okay.
He works for CVS. He's been a pharmacist for I think 35 years or so.
Oh, he worked for CVS?
No, he worked for the hospital.
Oh,
Orange,
100%.
actually, or I think it was something orange back in the
And
day.
again, this is all to gain that rapport, you know, that friendly rapport. Dude, his hairline is so weird. It's like here, bro. Like just shave your head, bro.
But he worked for Orange.
This guy's playing like totally clueless. Like he's just, yeah, I mean, he's been in the interrogation room for 46 minutes, hasn't asked one thing about his parents or his brother. It's just crazy.
For about 15 years, and then he worked with Home Infusion with
Tipping
Ambient
point's coming
Healthcare
soon.
for like 11 years or 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he finally got into the sales one with CVS.
Oh, at the end is super dramatic when he's talking. They actually let his surviving brother, in the room to talk to him, and it's crazy if you haven't seen it. It's really good.
Where he
drama.
like sits in a cubicle, and then he's got the headphone on, and then if somebody calls in, he just like tells them what they have to do, like pharmacy wise. So
Other pharmacists?
Retail pharmacy. So he wouldn't go to like the CVS's that you see on the side of the road. He was at like Caremark or something like that, which is owned by CVS.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 650 employees. He tell me about like how it's
a bunch of pharmacists doing the same thing he's
yeah.
doing? Basically talking to other pharmacists?
Talking to other pharmacists, talking to doctors, talking to patients.
Gotcha.
Patients for like their home health care stuff that they have, and they just call into the 24-hour pharmacist, and then you know, they help them through with whatever they.
Did he like that job better than being in a CSA?
No, he hated it. He tried when because he was fired from and then he was like IV home infusion with Florida Hospital's home infusion group for only about 2 or 3 years. He was fired from that for being like, I guess, to not like soft, but like an asshole, because he would like his manager or something was this like young woman, and then she was giving him crap, and then he's like, I've been a pharmacist for this many years, like and you're younger than, it's like I don't have to listen to you, you know.
Right.
So I guess he blew up one day when he was down at work, and then because of that, he ended up getting fired, and then he was out of work for about 3 months. And then he was trying to get back into the hospital system, trying to do home infusion again. But because
so Grant Amato was this loser that essentially took $200,000 from his parents and his brothers and bankrolled a cam girl. And then essentially what happened was they had found out about it. They sent him to a rehabilitation center to help him with his addiction. He spent about a week there and left. When he came back, his father made all these certain rules that he had to abide by, and he didn't want to do that. And one of the rules was to not talk to this cam girl, obviously, anymore, because he's wasted $200,000 with this girl. You're going to hear about it in the interrogation here in a little bit. And essentially, he didn't want to live by the rules, so he decided to kill his entire family. Well, not his entire family, his mother, his father, and brother, and one of his brothers. And he staged the crime scene. But in his staging of the crime scene, he did a really shitty job, and they basically knew right away because he was the two live-in brothers, and he was one of them. And then when his whole family was scrubbed out, he went missing, and then the crime scene is staged. So obviously, a lot of the fingers were pointing in his direction. So yeah, we'll keep playing through here. Thanks for asking.
Because of how old he is, and because he has an RPH degree, which was the original pharmacist degree, he doesn't have the new PharmD. He just plug issue up there that it's been destroying his lawn, everything that they're maintaining.
Mm-hmm.
So
it jumped here for some reason. So I'm gonna fast forward it. It went back to the.
You always want your child to do better than you.
Right, and I mean, that was what my dad always emphasized when we were younger.
You're welcome.
Going through grade school and high school and college, we were heavily restricted, but we were allowed to do some things. Like, it wasn't like Jason's situation where he was just like the door's locked, you're staying in there type thing.
And who was that? Who was
Yeah, it's super.
keeping? Who was the disciplinarian in the family?
My dad.
And to see like the living brother at trial is heartbreaking. It's completely heartbreaking. And we're gonna do the trial here. I think it was a 7-day trial. It was either 7 or 9 days, and we're gonna do all the episodes for a walkthrough. So I plan on doing that because this case is just really fascinating. It's really fascinated me, and it's terrible. It's terrible for his surviving brother that he had to go through this.
And was he the one that decided Jason stays locked in?
Yeah.
What did Mom think about that?
Mom didn't approve of it, obviously, but back in that time, my dad was a very angry, violent type person.
Overbearing.
He would push my mom, and one instance, it was getting to that age where me and Cody were kind of getting old enough to maybe be able to do something if she needed our help. And I remember her and my dad were in their room, which if you go down the stairs, it's right there to the left. We heard our mom yell that he's hurting me, and then me and Cody run downstairs, and we go into the room, and then we're
that one, he's hurting me, that always caught my mind in this interrogation.
Trying to get our dad off of our mom, and then my dad elbows back, and that's why my nose has got its little bridge right there. But I mean, that's how he was, spankings with a 2x4.
You're a beta, bro.
Beta. Baseball practice, it'd be 4 or 5 hours, and he's hurling the ball as fast as an adult can.
He got caught.
We're 7th to 8th grade trying to catch this stuff.
Beta.
Yeah, I mean, definitely very overbearing, but he would always rationalize that he's just trying to secure our future.
Violent towards the family?
Violent towards my mom and towards me, never to and towards Jason, but never to Cody.
Why?
I mean,
Cody his favorite?
Yeah. I mean,
3 boys?
Yeah. And with that, I mean, I could kind of see it, but Cody also never really made any mistakes. He did a few things wrong. He lied a few times. He cost my dad some money a few times, but he was never a repeat offender, I guess you could say, whereas me and Jason, we had that difficulty where it's okay, we got a C or we got a D on something, and I just don't want to tell Dad about it.
Sure.
But then he would find out, and then,
Dad ever abuse you?
When we were younger.
How so?
Spankings with a 2x4, and then, he'd use it was a 2x4 that was fashioned into a paddle called the lightning rod, I think is what it was called. No, he broke it on me.
I'd be
He was
sorry. I would probably
29.
give it to my dad, take it out and
He was
burn it.
29 at the time of this interview, but he's 34 now. Yes, there's a third brother, and it's horrible. Thankfully he didn't live at the house because he would have been killed as well.
Yeah.
So he didn't have it anymore.
But yeah, he would he'd do that, and then he'd push you around. Like he wouldn't punch you. He wouldn't bruise you.
Slap you?
He never slapped me. But I guess I should say the only place that I ever got bruised was on my butt from being spanked.
Belittle you?
He would belittle me when I was younger, but
How
again,
long since you've been out of work?
Yeah, Ron, I don't know what's going on lately.
No, I mean,
I've noticed. I mean, look I only have 20 people in here tonight. I'm sure there's probably 10 other Idaho streams going, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. No one's getting notifications. I don't know if it's a setting, but I haven't changed anything, so it's just been really weird. But thank you for letting me know. I'm going to work on that. Oh, let's keep playing through.
not really.
Now, I would just find it very difficult where I've had streams almost 600 people that there wouldn't even be at least 100 people in here tonight. It's just weird. The last couple of streams have been like this, but again, it doesn't say Idaho in the title, so I'm sure that's probably keeping a lot of people away. You know, it's like we can't build our channels off Idaho because what's going to happen when that case concludes? There's many Detective John and I all talked about this last night. There's many other channels out there. I mean, many other cases out there that can be done. So some got notifications. Make sure all your bell notifications are turned on. If you go down there and hit that little bell and make sure that it's turned on, you should get the notifications. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. It seems like the streams have been super light lately, but again, there's probably 10 Idaho streams going right now. I don't know what else everybody's going to solve right now. I mean, there's not really much more to talk about. I guess this footage, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow night, but the video cam footage, the security footage, everybody's drooling over that right now. All right, let's stick to this stream tonight. Let's not get into Idaho. Yeah, make sure your bell notifications are turned on. I've only noticed because it tells us now only 1,000 subscribers to my channel actually have all bell notifications turned on. So you might not have all the notifications. So make sure you go down there. Even if you turn that bell off and reapply it, it should start giving you notifications. Yeah, it's really strange. And I always post on my Twitter account when I'm going to go live. And I always post on my Facebook account when I'm going to go live. And I always post on my community page as well. So just come back and check. So thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you.
It would just make me feel bad that, like, he would make me feel bad that Cody's doing all this stuff to, like,
that's very sarcastic, Tsunami.
As valuable, maybe.
Right.
Maybe that's not the right word, but you're not contributing enough to what needs to be done.
Right, and then
but nobody knows better than you that you want to be out there.
Right.
You want to have it.
And I mean, the problem I guess was that I was always like the jokester, the one that could calm everybody down, make everybody smile. If there was a heated situation, I could say a joke or something, and then make everybody kind of move past it. And I was just in the point where it's like, I'm hearing, all this stuff from Dad. I'm seeing how much Cody's helping me. Mom's stressed out with her job, and it's like I'm not doing anything. And it's like I'm in that situation where it's like I'm not doing something because I don't want to. I'm held out because I'm waiting for this whole legal thing to get taken care of, and then for jobs.
We've been talking for a while. Did you get to stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, anything real quick?
I mean, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
12 hours a day working as a nurse. I'm used
to
sitting or standing.
Take advantage of it. That's why I said I want to make sure that if you do, we take those breaks. And sometimes
I mean, for someone that just scrubbed out like his whole family, I mean, I don't mean to say this in like a way to offend anybody, but I'm just saying he scrubbed his whole family out. I mean, he's just sitting calm as a cucumber right now. He's not even shaking, nothing. I can feel the internal shake inside him, like he's like definitely trying to get out of this and get away with it. But I mean, he's cool as a cucumber right now. I mean, he's just a fucking psychopath, complete psychopath.
Have your thoughts because you're just sitting talking.
Right.
Thinking about what you're saying.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
I want to make sure you got a break's been in because this isn't the hospital, and I
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
make
no.
sure that you want
No,
to.
I'm good. It's like with
you
water
sit
and
down.
stuff. I'm not a breakfast person, and
Okay.
water's.
So, when's the
Yeah.
last time your dad put his hands on you?
Right, Dr. Bob, right?
The last time my
Idaho tomorrow
dad
night,
put his
9
hands
p.m.
on
Eastern
me
Standard
would
Time.
be,
We'll do an Idaho stream tomorrow.
I'd say, kind of the middle of December of 2018.
What happened?
It's because, you know, with all the money that had been getting spent and I guess just a mix of everything that I've been saying, just kind of boiling up in him, and the fact that I was, to him, it seemed like I wasn't concerned about it. So, and then plus I was, you know, I wasn't acting like myself with the jovialness and, you know, all that kind of stuff. My father chose to admit me to like a depression or an addiction clinic or something like that in Fort Lauderdale called Cornerstone.
When was that?
That was December 22nd.
All right, it's going to start getting interesting here.
Until I think January 4th.
Did you agree to go?
I didn't, but they said that, you know, this was your only.
Who said?
My dad.
Okay.
And that was in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes. Yeah.
Did your mom agree with it?
My mom and my brother both agreed, but it was my dad who was like the iron fist, like, this is what's going to happen. Like, you know, he can't.
Why did he say you needed to go? What was his reason?
Because with the way that I was acting, he didn't see that I was.
Yeah, I don't want to blow the whole interrogation. We're going to get there in the interrogation. So hold off on that. That's a great question, Paula, but we're going to get to that. It's going to take a little bit more, but we're going to get to that. I don't want to blow the interrogation if everybody hasn't seen it yet. And I think most of the people haven't seen it yet. So we're going to get there. Keep that to the vest. We're going to get there. It gets interesting.
Was doing anything for like the positive.
No
you know,
problem.
and a lot of it just came back to money with him. He would like allow me to spend money that he had, like with his credit card or something like that. But
here it comes.
It's like then whenever I did, it was like a huge problem.
Okay, so you had one of his credit cards.
Yeah.
And what were you buying with it?
Well, what I was doing is over the past 4 months or something like that, I've been talking to this woman online.
Who's she?
She's as embarrassing as it is. She's a cam model.
A what?
A cam model. Do either of you guys know that?
Nope. Just like all the
they already know. They already know, but they're getting him to talk. They already know the whole story, but they're getting him to talk. This is fantastic. This is like the turning point in the interview, and they're going to get him to start saying everything to back him up against the wall. This is why I love this interrogation. I love watching these interrogations because there's a point where it turns, and then they're going to start getting you. So this is really, really good. Good stuff. This is I knew it was coming, and I love this.
you have to tell us.
A cam model, it's like it's like a virtual girlfriend, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Like that type of situation.
They know already. They are.
So a lot of the money went to her.
Okay.
I'm glad that you're here.
She lives in Bulgaria.
Where?
Bulgaria.
Where's that?
Over in Europe. It's like outside of Germany.
Okay.
Something like that.
You ever been there?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that serious.
So
Okay.
what would you give her money for?
Just for like the time online with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like that type of thing.
And what did she charge? By the minute? By the hour?
Minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much is it per minute?
Oh God, I think it was like 90 tokens a minute, and it's like the conversion rate for all of that is like $600 for like 5,000 or something tokens or something like that. So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean that's basically just where all like the costs went to, was you pay real money for the tokens, then you use the company's digital currency for that.
So you do that, and when did you meet her?
I met her at the beginning of July.
Right.
Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and still talking to her?
Still, yeah. I mean, more just on like Twitter, like
Okay.
just through direct messaging. Again, cell phone service doesn't work, so it's like I can't use the chatting like that.
How much do you think you spent on this? Because it seems kind of pricey.
Yeah.
90 tokens and $5,000 for how many tokens?
No, it's $600 for 5,000.
For 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much do you think you spent? on this?
He's like 100 pounds, dude. He's
probably
so beta man.
close
Super
to
yeah, 976.
like $200,000, I'd say.
$200,000.
I'm gonna back up a little bit
In
here.
digital
'cause I kinda
currency
talked
for,
about
Okay.
for
I
that.
didn't hear it come.
So you do this, and when did you meet her?
I met her at the beginning of July. Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and still talking to her?
Still, yeah. I mean, more just on like Twitter, like
Okay.
just through direct messaging. Again, cell phone service doesn't work, so it's like I can't use the chatting like that.
How much do you think you spent on this? Because it seems kind of pricey.
Yeah.
90 tokens and $5,000 for how many tokens?
No, it's $600 for 5,000.
For 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much do you think you spent on this?
Probably close to like $200,000, I'd say.
$200,000?
Yeah.
And where'd the money come from?
Money came from me, my
Notice how his body language changed there, and he put his hand up near his mouth. That's embarrassment, and he's trying to hide. That's someone that's trying to hide something. You know, it's like a poker tell.
brother, and then my dad.
You know, when you have a strong hand, you know you'll put your hand over your mouth.
Did they know where the money was going to?
They didn't know that it was going to a cam model.
What'd you
I
tell
was
them?
saying that it was going towards my Twitch streaming, like advertising, like putting my name out there and that type of thing.
But based on what you're telling me, only so many people make so much money. So I think just a few
Just a
and
handful.
make a bunch of money.
Right.
So that was like the ultimate goal is to get to that.
I was
level.
hoping that the stars would align, and then I would be like one of those people, because I was good at the games, and I'm a funny, pleasant person on the camera and that type of thing. So, yeah, I mean that's.
So his mom worked from home. I forget what he said that she did, but she had a job where she worked her way all the way up to the top, and she had a salary of about $90,000. His dad was a pharmacist for like 35 years, and his brother that lived at home was an anesthetician. So he was making like $130 a year. So I mean, living down in Florida, the low taxes, the low, cost of land and housing. I mean, they were living a pretty nice life. If you look the house up they had, it was pretty fucking nice. I mean, it's definitely a house I wouldn't turn down. So yeah, they were doing really, really well. And this clown got pissed because he couldn't be with his little cam girl anymore. It's fucking sad.
So I guess to like bring it all back with why I was brought to Cornerstone, it was a mix of all of those things. It's like he felt like, he felt like
You need to be grounded.
yeah. And so then I was there, I spoke to like the therapist and psychiatrist and all that stuff. I didn't need any medications for anything. They had analyzed it as, this is an isolated event. You've been out of work, you have this PTSD from the whole getting arrested thing. And I mean, the last thing on my record was, I think, a speeding ticket back when I was at UCF.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just having all of that stuff going on. But then they had signed me up, I think, to be there for 60 days. But then I was only there until January 4th. So
Who paid for that?
my brother, Cody.
What was the cost of that?
$15,000. It was $15,000. And then I think when I had gotten back, we were going through the process of calling them and seeing if we could get any type of refund. And I think they said that he was going to get refunded $3,000 from his $15,000.
Sure.
But I don't.
There so long.
Right. But I don't know if that transaction had ever gone through yet.
So their final diagnosis of you was what?
That I was fine. That
Didn't need to be there.
yeah. That I was fine. I told them all about like my living situation and how it had been stressful, and then it got better, and then now it's just stressful again. But they had all just said that it was just this isolated
Just
event.
situational PTSD from
Right. Yeah, like
the
once
last
you,
6 months.
We're gonna get to that too. You guys are really, really good. Really, really good. This is all gonna come out in the interrogation. All good stuff.
once you can get this legal thing taken care of, which I don't know if I mentioned, but when we looked online and we saw that all the charges have been dropped, that was on like November 30th or 31st, the day before we were going to Japan. So, well, that was good and everything. I still knew that it was still going to be like on your record until you get it expunged.
At least it gives you some context as to like what this case is about. It's a very, very interesting case. I'm gonna, if you, Don, I know you just got in here this week. I'm actually gonna do the walkthrough of the trial. It's about a 7-day trial. It was like 7 to 9 days. It's heartbreaking when his surviving brother gets up on the stand, but we're gonna do walkthroughs because each segment's about an hour and a half, and we'll do that, you know, in between some Idaho stuff. And I want to do other stuff here too. So, all right, we'll keep playing on.
So, you know, I was still thinking, okay, at least now I can maybe start applying when we get back from Japan. Sure. But you know, so I mean,
After you get back, you got back
on the 15th of December.
You get back.
His head
You said you went on the
hydrated.
22nd of
Right.
December.
Yeah, that's when I went to, yeah, it was after Japan.
Okay.
And it was because when I had gotten back, my mom and dad were, you know, dealing with a lot of the financial stuff while we were up there.
Mhm.
And then
That you caused.
when I got back, that's where my dad started to get really kind of overbearing. And I mean, rightfully so. I know what I did. But it's like with him, it was every single day, hours a day, hours a day. He'd come home from work and then he would just talk to me.
He's saying PTSD because his father used to boss him around and supposedly used to hit him and bang him around. He was addicted to this cam girl. He was never addicted to drugs. It was just this cam girl. And that started all of this shit with everything. So yeah, I've seen that. It's really good stuff. Totally really good stuff. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, let's keep playing through.
About the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again. And
Did it get heated?
He would get heated, but
How about you? Did you get heated?
No, I mean, I was, you know, I was always the person in the family where, like, my brother Cody would interrupt my dad when he was talking. My mom would interject and say, you can't be saying that or whatever. But for me, I would just sit there and I would just let my dad talk so that he could say everything that he wanted to say. And then if I saw that it was something that he wanted me to respond to, then I'd respond. But I would never be heated to him.
Sure.
Especially if I felt like I was in the wrong.
Right. Do all this you think you were in the wrong?
I mean, yeah.
To some extent?
To some extent, you know, spending that amount of money, it's idiotic to do that, you know, especially when you're not making
So
it.
$200,000.
Right.
When was the last time that you and your dad did have, you know, a heated conversation?
It
I
was,
love this too because she stays totally out of the conversation. He starts to build that rapport with the male detective, and now she interjects. This is really good interrogation. This is very similar to the Lee Randoni case that I did, where they had the male detective, the female detective. The female stayed out of it for a very long time and then came in as the turning point and started to interject some questions. So now they're kind of turning the tide on him, and he's, I think, starting to kind of, I don't think he realizes yet that he's up against the wall, but it's coming, and they're starting to put the pressure on him.
Thursday, because one of his rules was that I wasn't allowed to talk to the woman anymore that I had been talking to. But I guess you could say behind the scenes, my mom.
And you notice the body language of the male detective. He has his arms closed. That's a very closed off body language where they're having conversation, and he's giving him the signal that I don't believe you, you know, when you close yourself off. So really good stuff here.
Would let me talk to her through her cell phone using Twitter. And, you know, she would tell me, like, look, you have to keep it just basic, because if you say anything or if you entice anything or do anything like that, it might lead her to say something to, like, my dad or something like that. Because
How was she get in touch with him?
Because apparently when I was in Cornerstone, my dad told her, because he had like hacked my computer or something like that, and then he found everything.
Electronics guy like
This is
you,
why he
brother?
killed his parents.
Except
right? Yeah.
he's more of that like hacking level, like able to do all that stuff. So he had found, like just the stuff that was related to her, and then, he erased my whole entire computer. He put a password on it, so it's like even when I came back up until
why he
Thursday,
killed
like I wasn't able to go onto my own computer to look at anything.
He's treating you like a small child.
Right, and rightfully so. I mean, spending that amount of money, I was acting childish. I can kind of get it, but so yeah. Anyways, on Thursday, he had apparently found out that I was speaking to her again, and when I came back on the 4th, my mom picked me up from the Cornerstone place, and then me and my mom met my dad at California Pizza Grill or Kitchen in Waterford Lakes, and he had this list front and back on a piece of paper of all the rules. This is what's going to happen. This is why I'm acting the way that I'm going to act. I'm not going to be Dad anymore. I'm going to be Chad. And I basically told him that I'm going to be present. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to start trying to get jobs now. I told him what my plan was. It wasn't really my intention to continue talking to this woman, but it just kind of happened. And then because there was like that emotional connection, I guess you could say, between her and me, like I like, it felt like a relationship, I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it. So he had apparently found out, and then
Unhappy.
Right, and one of the stipulations was that he told me at the dinner was, if you speak to this woman again, you're out of the house. I'm kicking you out. You can pack up your shit, and then you're off my property. And then because of the way that he used to be, he had told me that basically if that happens, that if I ever step back onto his property, that he would kill me. So, on Thursday, that all happened, and then I was in the process. I was getting all my stuff together. I was piecemealing it out to the car, and then, I had an interview on Friday, so I had to get my suit out to my car. I was trying to just get all of my necessities as best as I could from, a lifetime of living inside the house.
Sure.
And then, my brother was working that night, and I think he was working like one of his long nights, but he ended up getting off early. And then I had met with my brother before he came home, just like in the neighborhood area. And then it was just on the like the back side of the house, like along, I don't remember what that road's called, but it's like you take the bend where it has those two blinking lights, and then it's just down that road a ways.
Not for Christmas.
Is it before Christmas when you still turn the corner?
I think so. I'm not sure. I think so.
Well, it was just down that road.
Okay.
And then I basically brought him up to speed, and he had told me that he was going to do whatever.
What time was that, you think?
God, what time was that?
What time did you go to? Let me back up a second. I apologize. You, Mom, and Dad go to California Pizza Kitchen in Waterford at what time?
Oh, that was all the way back on January 4th.
Oh, you said Thursday.
No, that wasn't Thursday.
No. That was when I had come back from Cornerstone.
Gotcha.
He was giving me the rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Then do Thursday then.
what happened?
That.
That Thursday that you meet with Cody down the street. This is this past Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that.
After you and your dad argue.
After me and my dad had argued, and he had told me, this is how it's going to be, and all that stuff.
Okay. This is at the house this past Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is what now? Saturday? So
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Past Thursday, I guess you could still say. So then I spoke with Cody. He told me about all that. He had given me his debit so that, because I don't have any money and I don't know where to go. I'd never been out of the house on my own. And then the last thing that I was told was just that, basically once again that he'll take care of it because
this is Cody.
This is Cody.
What time is this approximately?
I'd say a little after 10:30ish at night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Okay.
And then, so then after that, I just like stayed in that in the vicinity area for a number of hours, and then I had remembered over some of the nights that the Publix on 50 on Colonial, the one that's by the Tractor Supply,
419, yeah.
That Publix, it's like their guest Wi-Fi is always still active even when the store closes down. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go there because I have my Surface, and I can, check on my emails. I had to pull up the address to my interview because I don't have GPS. So then I would like write all that stuff down, and then I was basically just waiting in that parking lot until I had to leave to go to the interview.
I want to thank everybody for being in here tonight. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for stopping by. I know it's late on a Saturday night. We all could be out doing other things, but I appreciate you all being here. The last couple nights have been really great. I mean, there's been some really great content last night. I mean, we had the Detective John call, which was great. I actually re-released it this morning in a small video. I cut it out, put it out a video. The video is doing really well. I have a couple of other videos planned for this week. I'm going to be streaming tonight, tomorrow during the day, tomorrow night, Monday, and Tuesday. So I got a lot of things going on. And it's too bad. Everybody's missing out on this content. So I don't know. It must be 25 Idaho streams going tonight, and they're all battling each other. I don't know. It's just there's other things to do, man. There's other things to do. I mean, what else are we gonna do to solve the case? But I'm gonna get into Idaho tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guarantee there'll be 200-300 people in here. I just don't get it. Anyway, all right, let's keep playing through.
And then that was the last, because again, it's like
I don't mean to laugh. I don't want to. It's just a really strange case. You're getting 9 million channels that pop up about Idaho now because everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon. YouTube has lowered the standards for people to get monetized now. So you only need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. When I had to do it was 1,000 and 4,000. People are figuring out how to kind of work their way around that to get attention. It's just weird. It's just really weird. And, everybody's got Idaho stuff now. So I'm going to get into that tomorrow night, but we're going to keep playing through this.
Cell phone service. Email is literally like my only form of communication.
Right. Thank you.
And then, I didn't have any, I went to the DoubleTree because I was like, I can't just stay in my car again all night.
Right. And how did you pay for that?
I paid for it with my debit card.
With your debit card?
Yeah. Because I think there was like $400 or $300 and something still left on it.
Okay.
What time did you get there?
The DoubleTree.
Oh, good.
I think I got there at around.
Yes, the rules.
3 or 4 p.m.
Yesterday.
Friday. And then I was just. I would like go up to my car so I get like a bottle of water or something like that, or if I forgot something, just like necessity wise. And then I was just there the whole night.
Talk to Cody, talk to Mom, talk to
No, I couldn't talk to anybody because I didn't have.
But you had the phone in the room.
Oh yeah, I did have the phone in the room.
I love that.
But
yeah, anybody from the phone room?
No, I didn't even honestly think about it because I was like, I have the phone in the room. But yeah,
okay.
What time did you get there?
The DoubleTree.
I love that moment. The cop's just like,
I think I got there around 3 or 4 p.m.
Yesterday.
Friday. And then I was just. I would like go up to my car so I get like a bottle of water or something like that, or if I forgot something, just like necessity wise. And then I was just there the whole night.
Talk to Cody, talk to Mom, talk to.
No, I couldn't talk to anybody because I didn't have.
But you had the phone in the room.
Oh yeah, I did have the phone in the room. But
anybody from the phone room?
No, I didn't even honestly think about it because I was like.
I agree.
Away from a place where I lived for 25 years or something like that. I had never, as embarrassing as it is, I'd never been on my own.
Right.
The longest period I'd ever been away from anybody is 2 weeks when we were up in Japan. So, I mean, yeah.
But you had your brother with you, so.
Right,
So,
yeah.
So you had family with you.
But, yeah, I mean, so I guess I was waiting to see what would happen with this job, because I was told I'd either be told Tuesday or Thursday. And then maybe I would try and outreach or something like that. Or the last time, you know, when it was like an issue where I didn't have my phone, like my brother would email me. So I was just thinking, oh, okay, well, I mean, if anything, he knows the situation, he'll just email me. So I checked my email a few times last night, and then I just inevitably was able to go to sleep.
Was it Thursday night that your dad told you that if you talked to the girl that he would kick you out, or was that the conversation on the 4th at California?
That was on the 4th. And then he just went through with it on Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday, you're home all day.
Yeah.
Yes,
with your mom.
he has.
She works at home.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a nurse, and he got in trouble for stealing money, and was ultimately fired. And the reason he was stealing money was to help bankroll that cam girl. So yes, he did work. He was a very low-level nurse. He never went like all the way. I don't know what the different levels of it, what they are in Florida, but he kind of explained it earlier in the interrogation.
Dad's at work. What's his normal work hours?
He works until, I think he had to go in early that day, because he had to start like doing overtime or something like that. And he normally works though from like 5 or 6 in the morning to, I think he gets home between like 5:30 and 6 at night or something like that.
What time do you get home that day?
He got home at like 5:30.
5:30.
5:30, 5:45, one of those two.
Okay. Were you there when he came in?
Yes.
Okay. Well, describe your dad normal come in.
When my dad normally comes in, he'll come in, he'll look into the living room, which is like there's the kitchen, and then there's the living room where it's got like the long couch and whatnot that's inside, and then there's the TV right there.
Okay.
So he'll normally come in through there, and then he'll talk or he'll ask his questions or he'll.
Where were you at when he came in?
I was just in there. I was just watching.
In the virtual reality where you said you had that set up?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just watching.
And that's in what room?
The living room.
The living room.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just watching YouTube at that time. Just like.
Dad talk to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where, because he had, I don't know how he found out, but he had apparently found out, and then
Found out what?
that I was talking to.
You were still talking
to the woman, yeah. And then he came in, and then he asked me, in a calmer state, I guess you could say, like basically the leading question of, you know, why do you think we're about to have this conversation? Giving me, I guess, that opportunity to be honest and truthful, to maybe tone it down a little bit. I, of course, did what I always did, where I kind of didn't admit to it. And then he came out and he told me that I had been doing that.
He had proof.
Yeah.
Have an argument?
Yeah. And then, you know, he got just, he had kind of reverted back to the way that he was when we were younger, where, you know, he kind of, you know, pulled me up from the couch, and then he was yelling at me to pack my shit up and just get out of the house. That he was the one who had to be the hammer, and that, you know, why am I making him have to go through this, and all this other kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, you know, basically I had...
So he's becoming violent.
I mean,
like the way you described it when you were
right.
when you were kids.
Right.
What do you do?
Like I said, he pulled me up from the couch just by like the shirt that I was wearing. And then, you know, after that, he was basically just having that yelling where it was kind of like cracking, you know, like his voice would either crack or he was basically just yelling at that point and monitoring.
Where's your mom?
My mom was in her office.
Okay.
Because.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. Does mom have like an office hours? Like she would get up and do her work all day, and at a certain time I'm done doing my office work and I'm doing my family stuff.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean,
she worked there all the time.
Right. She would. I think the major thing that she would do is she would like cook dinner.
Okay.
And then after that, she would go back into her office.
What time was dinner usually? Generally.
Between like 7, like I guess usually around 7:30 is when we usually have dinner. Most nights.
Did you guys already have dinner that night?
No. I think what was she gonna make? I think she was gonna make something with like chicken or something.
I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that she did wrong. he was just throwing money at her, and she's in another country, so there's no way. So yeah, unfortunately, she's not at the trial. But she ultimately did know about it, and I think that she did apologize. I think she ultimately they told her like what happened, and I think she ultimately apologized. But she took $200,000, but she didn't know. He never mentioned anything to her that he was going to kill them or plan to kill them. So
like that stir fry or something like that, because Cody was working late, so she didn't want to make something because my dad would always buy meals that were for
she was from Bulgaria.
so
she wasn't
we
from
didn't
the
want
US,
to pull
so.
out anything where there would be leftovers or something like that. So, but she hadn't started making it yet. I think she was defrosting the chicken.
And that was about what time?
Yeah.
What time? I think she took those out like at 4 or something like that in the afternoon.
And at this time, the argument with Dad is at what time?
The argument with Dad is like 6:30 or so.
6:30.
Yeah.
Okay. You have your argument and you pack your stuff?
I had my argument, and then I'm packing my stuff. I'm, taking it out to the car. It took me like a couple hours to get as much as I could, just kind of out into there. And then, yeah, it's like Mom's kind of just staying out of it to a certain degree because she knows like how Dad can be. And then, yeah, I mean, and that's just pretty much where I was just kind of like waiting.
So you wait outside. Did anybody call Cody and tell him what's going on?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. And how did you know to meet Cody down the street?
It's because my mom had actually come and told me that, she was trying to bridge the gap. And then before I actually physically left, I had told my mom that, I'm going to be close. I'm going to be local. I'm just going to be like down the street. And then.
So you left.
So I left.
Okay.
And then.
What time do you think you left about?
Oh, God.
100%.
If it's 6:30, the argument started, how long do you think before you left?
I'd say like 9 or 9:30 or so. And then, yeah, so then, I mean, yeah, that's, because I guess,
How did Mom
I think it's
about
because,
Cody then?
I think it's because, like Cody had called the house, and then my mom picked up, and then he was just letting, like, how we would normally do, where, like, I got off early, because he was supposed to work till, like, 11 or something like that.
So he came home
None of
early.
the lies.
And then, yeah, he was able to
come home early because of the fight, you think?
I don't know, honestly. But, he had, I mean, like, that week, even on the days that he was working until 3, he would come home at, like, noon or 1 or something that week, so maybe it was just a slow week. But apparently that had happened, and then my mom was able to
Tell him what was going on.
right, and then she told me,
Did Cody have the gun affinity you have? He did. He liked guns like you did.
right, yeah.
Did he keep any guns on him?
I think Cody had his carry, his pistol.
Okay.
And then he...
What did he normally keep?
He's lying. This is where the lies come in, because this is how he staged the crime scene.
It was like a Smith & Wesson M9 shield or armor or core something.
Okay.
And then the only other gun that he had was his clay shooting shotgun.
Okay. Did your dad carry any guns?
My dad, to my knowledge, he has like 2 SKSs or something like that, and then he has a Glock something.
Did he carry the Glock with him normally?
Normally, no.
No. Okay. What else happened?
What else happened? Then after I had met with Cody, then that's where, I was again just kind of staying around that area. And then I just went to the Publix. And then to my knowledge, I mean, that was the last interaction that I had with the 3 members of my family was that.
Was about what time? Last time you saw your mom was what time, approximately?
Last time I saw my mom, I'm just trying to think. Last time that I saw my mom.
He doesn't have his story straight, so he's going, I have to think, because he's trying to timeline this thing out. So he didn't think of all this shit. So he's going to start getting caught in lies here about the timeline. They already know. They know everything.
Was When did I say that I met Cody? Or when I
I don't think he gave the exact time.
Stop.
See, he just even had to ask the cop, like, when did I say that? He's trying not to screw his timeline up.
Fine. It was like 45 minutes before that.
Okay, so
So when Cody called the house, you said your mom told him about
No
the
drug.
argument.
Right.
And you told, when you left, you said you told your mom you were gonna be in the area.
Right.
How then does Cody now know where to
Right.
meet you, or
It's
if he's gonna meet you?
Yeah, it's because that's when my mom had come out to where I said that I was
You
going to
guys
be
have the
on that
story
road
straight.
somewhere. And then she was able to do that. And then I guess that's how she knew, like, where to, I don't know if she talked to Cody again or if she was able to do that. But then she was able to, like, pinpoint that area.
okay, so this would have been late at night,
Right.
8, 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere like that
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
So dinner was over. You guys already had dinner.
We hadn't had dinner because of the whole argument that was happening.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think, the chicken never got past just being in the wrappers over where she would always defrost it.
So you leave, go on your way, Cody goes home,
Right.
and you had no contact with anybody since then.
Right.
I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything
Okay.
before we can close it out. Just a second, Ray. You
No,
want to
snack
take
or
this?
No,
This is a good
I'm-
time right now to take it.
I'm good.
Bathroom break anything?
No, I feel fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait a minute.
I need the bathroom.
Oh,
And I wanted to point out a picture of Fort Christmas, because we're not aware, I'm not familiar with the area, so.
So we're going to go back and talk again about this, because it's kind of important to me, about Cody and you meeting that night.
right.
So then that night, which was Thursday night, you meet Cody, because, and did he ever tell you why he left work early?
No. I mean, I'd assumed that it was just because he had been allowed to leave early.
He's been allowed to leave early. Okay.
So here's,
I think this is the blinking lights there.
So this is, to me, this is
Okay.
419 left on Lake Mills, right? Left on Fort Christmas.
Okay.
Where would you say you met Cody on Fort Christmas?
So wait, is this that other like neighborhood?
I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think it comes this way is 419.
This is where
Orange
all like.
County side?
No, I think this is up by the hitching post. You come up, you
Yeah.
make a right on Fort Christmas.
This is where the
And
blinking
here-
lights are.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because this goes into Salt or Picket Downs, right? It's right here. Then this is the circle.
Is this where you live at? Where do you live at?
If this is like the entrance to Picket Downs, then
Yeah.
I live like.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
here's,
that's your
there's blinking lights right here. So people don't run up at his house. I think that's what it was. 2 red lights.
Oh yeah, that's on the dude's fence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's those 2 yellow arrow
Okay.
blinking ones at the corner.
The corner.
So
Right.
these are blinking lights here. All right, so then where do you and Cody meet?
Like way down this road, like further past on that road.
So past, does this dead end anywhere?
I don't think so. I think it
Goes
literally
into Bithlow, I think.
goes into Bithlow and then and then if you keep going it, which was the way that I inevitably took it, where it'll dump you out onto 50, and then I came
Okay.
up 50 to go back to the Publix
All right,
parking lot.
so here are the blinking lights. How far down do you think you met? Half mile, mile?
I mean, a significant ways. I mean,
Just an approximate.
I would say it was probably over a mile.
Is this somewhere you and him have met before?
We know, where if you're on this road, the intersection where it's like it intersects with another road and then it's got like a guardrail or something like that right there.
Mhm.
It was still past that area,
Okay.
but it was close to that intersection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it in the roadway?
Just real quick, I want to show you a picture of his house. That's the house. I mean, he didn't live in a shitty house. It's a very nice house. Let me show you another picture. Right here to the right, you can see. That's the house right here. A beautiful house. I'm not going to scroll down because there are crime scene photos. You can see them. And I know if I show those up, the stream will get shut down. So we'll keep playing through here.
Like off the roadway or in?
Yeah, just off the road.
Just off the road?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, they had a nice house.
I kind of.
Lived a
It's
good
like,
life,
it's
believe me.
back there in the country,
So you and Cody meet,
right?
and it's approximately what time? And I know it's not, I'm not holding to the exact minute. What time do you think you met?
Like 10:30,
10:30.
or something like that.
How long did you talk to him for?
Only about 10 minutes or so.
And what was the conversation?
Conversation was basically that he was brought up to speed, you know, and that he would take care of it.
He was brought up to speed by what?
He was brought up to speed on like why I'm out here.
Who brought him up to speed?
My mom.
Oh, so
Oh,
she
wow.
talked to him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He
Thank
told
for
you that
clearing
your
that
mom
up.
had talked to him.
Right. I
Since
just
the argument or when?
since I had left.
So you'd left the house
Hello,
approximately.
Giovanna.
I left the house at like, God, when did I leave the house?
Dark?
He doesn't have his.
It was dark.
He doesn't have his story straight. See, he wasn't planning on this. So now they're asking him, what time did you leave? What was it like? Was it dark outside? Was it light? He wasn't ready for this. I'm going to back this up a little bit. And you're going to see where he gets caught in another lie.
Speed on like why I'm out here.
Who brought him up to speed?
My mom.
Oh, so she talked to him.
Yeah.
He told you that mom had talked to him.
Right.
Since the argument or when?
Since I had left.
So you'd left the house approximately when?
I left the house at like, God, when did I leave the house?
Dark?
He's fucked.
It was dark. It was after 9 p.m., but I just don't remember.
So between 9 and approximately 10:30,
Right.
you leave,
Right.
go down to sit on Fort Christmas.
See, they know the timeline. They already have the timeline. Because he's saying, oh, approximately this is the time you left. He's feeding him the timeline.
Cody comes and talks to you about 10 minutes.
I
And
know.
at some point, your mom has spoken to Cody based on what the conversation you have with him, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And she told
Giovanna, do you have your bell notifications, all bell notifications turned on? If you don't have them turned on, you won't get my live notifications.
him what had happened between you and your dad.
Right.
Okay?
Do you think that's why Cody left work?
I mean,
Did Cody say to you why he left?
And if it's not working, what you can do is just turn it off and then click it back on again. Sometimes that kind of restarts it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My channel's clearly not getting notifications. I only have 28 people in here. It's been like this for the last 2 days. It's weird. But I sent out some videos today. I sent out that video. Detective John is doing very, very well. So I don't know what's going on. It's just, it's really weird. Did you get notification? Did anybody in the chat room get notification of the Detective John video I dropped this morning? Let me know in the chat. Say, give me a 1. Give me a 1 if you did. Give me a 2 if you didn't.
Work?
no, he never said why he left work, but in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, he had been let off work early like three times already this week. So I was just like,
10, 15 minutes you talk to Cody.
right.
What's he driving?
He drives a 97 Honda Accord.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a conversation and he leaves to go home
Right.
and you leave to go where?
And then I stay in that general area just so that
Let me check my.
if anything happens, somebody like knows where I am.
Okay,
Like
how long
if-
do you stay there?
I stayed there for, I mean, like a couple hours, I would say.
Just
That
sit on the
same
side of the road?
area where you were talking
Like
about?
I would go like kind of just up and down that road a little bit, just at my cars and just like sitting there.
Mhm.
But for the most, yeah, I mean, I was staying in that general area, and then I decided to go
To Publix?
to Publix.
Which was about what time?
Like between like midnight and 1, I think. Yeah,
And you go to Publix midnight 1, and how long did you stay there till?
I stayed there until like 7, I
Sleep
think,
in
in
the
the
car?
morning. Well, as best as I could. Yeah, I mean, I
Never
was
comfortable sleeping in the car.
yeah,
Where'd
but
you park at? Yeah.
it's like on the side of it where like there's the back end of Publix where like all the shipments and stuff come in, and then you go around that corner, and then there's that line
On the
spot.
on the Publix end of it or the Tractor Farm Supply end?
Public end.
So there's some parking there around that side.
Yeah.
I'm familiar because I used to live in
Yeah.
that area. There's a side parking.
Right.
If you come up forward, you make the left, you go in front of Publix. The ice
Yeah,
cream
weird.
place is out front.
Right.
But you're on the side of the building.
Right.
Did any deputies or anybody ever come by, or
No.
anybody that worked there?
Nobody.
Any delivery trucks?
I saw a delivery truck.
You know, the funny thing is, I think this might be a YouTube thing right now because I know lawyer, Lawyer was actually talking about this on his channel the other day, that people were complaining about not getting notifications. So if you actually go on his community page, he was asking, like, do people want to sign up for a free text service, so when you go live, when he goes live, you'll get notifications? And unfortunately, his crowd was like, no. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I would want to know if my favorite creator was live, but maybe I can look into doing something like that. I don't know. It's weird because my last 2 streams, I mean, obviously you guys are seeing, I have like 30 people in here, and you know me, I usually have 200, 300 in here. So I don't know.
Trucks like in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah.
And 7 o'clock-ish?
Between 7
leave?
and 7:30, yeah, I leave.
And go where?
And then I just drive over to where my my interview.
And I'm sorry, I'm just not understanding. Where was that at?
Off Lee Vista.
Off Lee Vista. So how did you get there?
I just drove there.
Which way?
Your direction.
What roads did you use?
Colonial to 408, and then I got off on Goldenrod, the Goldenrod exit, and then I took Goldenrod all the way down to the Lee Vista road.
Make a right?
Right.
Going back towards 436?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have an E-Pass?
I do.
You do. Okay. So your E-Pass would have probably hit you at the Dean Road, maybe?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a toll, if I'm not mistaken, at Goldenrod, is there?
No, there's
I don't
not.
think there is one.
Yeah.
So you work your way on surface roads all the way down Lee Vista and go. And what was the name of the company again? I'm sorry, I don't think we found it.
It's Accreta.
Accreta?
Yeah.
How do you think it's spelled?
ACC.
It sucks because I wish we could do email lists, but like you can't do that anymore. Because it's called like I think there's laws against it, like mass emailing. You're not allowed to do that. So I don't know. I mean, obviously you guys aren't getting my notifications. That's not cool. I mean, I'm sending them out when I go live. But I do know other creatives have been kind of saying this as well too. That's a great idea. I have the notification bell on, but I have to click to notify me on each upcoming show. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll explore and look into if you all like that idea.
REDA.
Let me see if I can find
Or it's Accreto. It's one of those two.
I think a lot of it is.
But if you type in that,
people probably don't want to share their phone numbers, but I think when you do it, you're just loading your phone number into the system. You do it, but I would never have access to your phone number.
and then like scripts, it'll give you like the other name that the company has. Because then they were also just like bought from Cigna, so they're also called Cigna now.
Scripts like?
Yeah, like a doctor script, SCRIPTS. Express Scripts. That's the actual, I think, name of the infusion group, but they've kept their name Accreta or Accreto.
Accreto's,
Express Scripts.
let's see, I saw them.
Why are you looking that
Does
up?
6272 Lee Vista Boulevard sound right?
Yes. Yeah, 62. Yeah, I remember it being 62.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my phone here real quick and see.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I mean, to be honest with you, mind your business. You know, to be honest with you, I think it's a lot to do with, it doesn't say Idaho. I mean, you're going to see it tomorrow night when I do a stream. There'll be 200-300 people in here if other people aren't going, and I'm sure they will, because everybody now, when they're doing Idaho shit, everybody has to just like stream over everybody for some reason. I mean, I don't care. I'm still going to do a show. I have great replay. I mean, my videos get, within a day, I'll get 2,000 people that have looked at it. So I'm happy with that. And one of my biggest videos is almost near 100,000 views on it. It's slowed down a little bit, but I think a lot of it is, it doesn't say Idaho in the title. And I'm not going to do Idaho stuff every single stream. I mean, it's just, it's going to, I'm basically getting burnt and bored on it. I'm sure you all are too. So, I mean, there's other things to talk about. I have other crime cases I'm going to be lining up here, more current and relative ones that I think that need some exposure or attention. So I think it's that. I think it's probably some YouTube shit as well too. I know Lawyer has been kind of complaining about it, like people not getting notifications. So obviously he's seeing it on his end as well too. So I don't know. It's It's YouTube. They suck. They don't like people like me.
This is not good.
I mean, I don't want to like, yeah, I don't want to listen. I don't want to bag on the case. It's super, super important still. It still needs attention. But I think there's just a lot of bad people and channels that are wrapped up in all that. And it's now become their life. And I'm going to talk more. Let's get through this. I'm going to talk more about this openly tomorrow night on the stream. I don't really want to get into it on this stream, but we'll talk more tomorrow night about it. I have to kind of write some things down throughout the day tomorrow and get my thoughts together on how I want to present it. And I'm going to be honest. You know that's what you guys get with me, and ladies. I is honesty. You know that. I don't bullshit here, and I don't like bullshit. So, we'll talk about it tomorrow night. All right, let's play through this because I've kind of stopped it about 1 billion times. Interesting.
Look about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Express Scripts, yeah.
So it's going to be 6272 Lee Vista Boulevard, and it's called Express Scripts there on their name. When I put it said Accredo
Crazy.
Express Scripts. That's not right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went and had an interview with who?
I had an interview with the two managers, Erica and Terry.
Erica and Terry. Females or males?
Females.
Okay. 2 females. What did Erica look like?
Erica is, I think, like maybe 30 or something like that, and she's got like blonde hair, like fake eyelashes, white, kind of just look like young, standard, small build woman.
Okay. How about the other girl?
Terry is, I think, kind of into her 40s. She's got like auburn straight hair, white again, and she was also just kind of like a standard slim build person.
Okay. What'd you wear to the interview?
I wore my suit. It's just like a Men's Warehouse gray suit.
Sure.
Like brown shoes.
Okay. And you said the interview was from what time? And I'm sorry to repeat.
No. My interview was scheduled for 10 in the morning, but
got there early.
Right, because I was told that I had to print out like my resumes and my other things, but then I wasn't able to the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So I had brought my Surface thinking that I could print it out earlier. So I got there at 9, or like maybe 8:45.
Where'd you print out at?
I actually didn't. I mean, they said that they couldn't, but they already had copies of it,
Okay.
so I was able. I didn't have to worry about that.
So you had the interview, and it started approximately what time?
Like 9:40.
9:40, and went to about when?
I think it was about an hour. So like 10:30, 10:40 or so.
They didn't offer you a job and said they may have something coming forward.
It seemed like promising, but then they said that they had one more person to interview on Tuesday or Wednesday of this coming week.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they said that I would hear something from them regardless, like Tuesday or Thursday.
I want to jump back just a second. When you left the house,
Right.
What were you wearing?
When I left the house, I was just wearing, like my, like black pants,
Mm-hmm.
and then just
Jeans or just like the workout pants kind of deal with?
No, just like workout pants.
Workout pants. Okay.
Yeah. And then I just had a black shirt on, and then was I wearing a jacket? And I think just like one of my sweaters or jackets or something.
And you changed where to go to the
in the parking lot at the place.
I suppose. Okay. You go to the interview. Let's say you're there till maybe 11 o'clock.
Right.
Approximately. Where'd you go from there?
From there, I pretty much just drove around. I was thinking of like passing by the house, but I inevitably decided against it. And then I thought that I had to do like a skills checkoff for the same exact things, and I had switched into just like scrubs.
Okay.
But then that didn't end up needing to be done today or
Not a bong.
on the same day.
I don't smoke
And
weed.
then I was pretty much just driving around. I ended up.
Yeah, no, it's not a bong. I don't smoke weed, but that's kind of funny. No, it's got this light inside of it. And I don't know, I've always wanted like a white mic. I want to get like a white boom arm to match the mic. I'm probably gonna work on that soon. But no, I don't. I don't smoke weed. But that's funny. Imagine if I was just sitting here like puffing. That's great.
Going to Waterford, or I'd gone back
I
to the
haven't seen your
public
name in the room
area
before,
at
but
one
thank you
point.
for being a member. Of the channel.
Because I wanted to see if I could
Appreciate you.
get my phone service back. But then I was told that I'm not like a registered user. Or
Did
something
you go
like
to a
that.
phone store somewhere?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, the only reason I'm asking about Discord is you can set up a room. If I do it again, I would do it where no one can chat in it. And I would only just send out notifications when I go live. So there wouldn't be an open chat because I can set it up just to do notifications. So you could come into the group, be part of the group, but you wouldn't get notifications. I've learned my lessons with Discord before. That's why I shut my whole Discord server down, because there were just people in there. They're very toxic. They were whipping everybody else up and causing way too much melodrama. I don't have time for that shit. I'm too old for it, and we're all too old for it. Our average age is like 35 to 65 years old. It's crazy. So maybe I'll work on that option, see if it's going to work out, see what I can do to tailor that, and then maybe I'll drop that. You can all come in and join the Discord to let you know about notifications, because the text messaging service, I think, is just going to cost me too much money.
The Verizon. The Verizon, which is right there.
And the only other thing that I would tell you all, if you do, are you on Twitter? Does anybody do Twitter? I would just sign up for my Twitter handle. If you're on Twitter, let me see. Let me do a poll for Twitter. I don't really use Twitter a lot, but it would at least be another form of communication to get, when I stream.
Same place.
In the Publix plaza.
Right. It's
Like,
like
down by Tractor Farm or something like that?
it's right next to the Zaxby's. It's where the family dentistry.
Oh, yeah, they built a new building up there, didn't
Right.
they? It's like a little strip, 4 or 5 store there.
Yeah.
Okay, know exactly what you're talking about. Where you're turning to go to Corner Lakes Middle School.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to get anything where people can chat, because that fucking caused way too much stuff before. Everybody was in there whipping each other up and fighting, and it was just stupid. And I think it was all done by design. I think some people got in there from other channels, and they were in there to whip everybody up, and it just got too much of a headache. And I shut the whole damn thing down because it was just getting ridiculous. People were acting like fucking children. So I basically just got rid of the Discord. People are like private messaging me all day long. This one's saying that, this one's saying that. I'm like, dude, you guys are all like the average age is like 40 years old. Are you serious right now? And I just got tired of it, so I shut it down. Victorine was in there. Dr. Bob was in there. They know I got pissed off and done with that. So I don't know. I'll have to figure something out.
Okay.
So
you went
I
there and talked to somebody?
Yeah, I tried to get my phone service back, and then
Guy or girl?
it was a guy.
What does it look like?
He was a young guy, like maybe in his early 20s. He had black hair.
Yeah,
I think he had like a goatee.
They sense you even
What time
more
was
over
that?
there.
I think that was the first place that I went to when I came back. So
yeah, it was
I got out
great,
of there around
Victorine.
11,
It
maybe,
really was
like-
great. It's too bad because we were sharing some really great Idaho content in there, and then it just changed, and everybody started fighting with everybody in there. It was like melodrama. I'm like, I don't need this shit in here. I don't need this shit. Like, I don't need people messaging me all day long going, this one's doing that, and this one's doing it. It's like, come on, man, you need to police yourselves. And it was just getting way too crazy, and I shut it down. And I think literally I know the toxic people that were in there because they're no longer part on this channel, and they whipped everybody up and they ruined the chat. And I think it was done by design, because when they all left, they just started a whole bunch of shit. Doctor, I was looking at it because Dr. Bob, not me. No. Detective John in the house. What's going on? Grant Amato was from Seminole County, but hung out in my area of Velosa. I think I said that right. County. He used to go to a Florida gun exchange in Ormond Beach, 15 minutes from my house and literally 2 miles from my mother's. Hey, Detective John, thank you, man, last night for doing that impromptu call. And since you're in the chat, I kind of want to just express this as well, because I said it at the beginning of the show. Listen, I wanted everybody to let everybody know that your and my call last night was very impromptu. Like, we didn't plan it, and you and I have only talked like once through email. And it was very quick. And also, I wanted to set the record straight too, I've only seen you kind of come in my chat a couple of times. I knew of you from T-Rev's show, but I don't know anything that goes on T-Rev's channel. That is between that channel and you, or whatever. I respect T-Rev. I've never said anything bad about him. He had an amazing interview with Jennifer Coffindaffer today, so awesome for him. He's got his crowd of people that watch him and enjoy that show. I popped in a couple of times. I've seen what he's been doing. I actually threw him some super chats the other day because I really enjoyed that he was calling out the bullshit on the Idaho case and telling people they all need to calm down on this. I will, today there was something that started on Twitter, and someone was tweeting at me and trying to spin something up. And basically, T-Rev and I were in the tweet together. I don't tweet that much, but it was the three-way conversation about you, T-Rev, and me. And I'm like, look, I don't even know T-Rev. And T-Rev was cool through the whole tweet and just basically said, like, we're all both going like, I don't know. And it seemed like someone was trying to like whip something up and spin something. And eventually I think she backed down. And, I say to my case, I'm like, look, I don't know Detective John from Adam. I don't know T-Rev from Adam. I have nothing bad to say about either one of them. Whatever situation happened between them, or if there's a situation going on, I know nothing of it. And I think you were very clear about that last night on the panel. So, I just want to get that out there on the record. I have no issues with Detective John. I have no issues with T-Rev. I've never even talked to T-Rev before. I've been in his chat and threw him a super chat the other day to show some respect that, he's calling out the bullshit like I have been on the channel, and Detective John has as well. So, again, Detective John and I, the first phone call that we ever had was last night. That's it. I don't know why there was this, this stuff being brought up and tweeted at, and getting T-Rev involved. And T-Rev was cool through the whole thing. You guys can go on Twitter and watch and look at the tweet if you want to. But he was cool, and there was just like, we were both like, why is this starting? We don't even know each other. So all good. But I want to get that on the record. I have no issues with T-Rev. I have no issues with Detective John. I've never, Detective John, the first time was on my panel, called in last night for 45 minutes. I enjoyed the call. I enjoyed the segment. It was great content. Everybody, they missed that content last night. And, as far as the future, we never know. Him and I plan to do something again. If we do it, we do it, and that's it. I don't know. It was just really weird. There's a lot of people that got like spun up about that. And I'm like, it's a call. It's someone that called into the show. I've taken calls before, and I kind of wanted to hear his perspective on it. So Detective John says, nothing going on with me and him. That's people trying to start crap. They hated the fact that I brought a LE perspective to the show. Jealousy, man. Well, again, you know more about that than I do. But as far as everybody else, we're all cool. It's not like people are tied into people's panels. I'm not trying to steal Detective John. I don't politic is basically what I'm saying. I don't politic. I don't get wrapped up in politics. Whatever's going on in people's minds, that's their own business. But I just want to get this on the record. I'm cool with Detective John. I'm cool with T-Rev. I have no issues with T-Rev is fucking killing it, man. He's got 40,000 subscribers over there. I think that's fantastic. If I could even have a third of that, I would love it. But he's got his thing. He does his own, I call it like a shtick, like I have my shtick. He has his show. He does a good job at it. He's got a great crowd. I mean, some days, today he had almost 2,000 people watching. That's fucking awesome. Good for him. I keep doing your thing, but anyway, I don't want to get too much into it. The YouTube space is a crazy space, man. People can't let people
12 or 12:30 or something like that in the afternoon, I think.
Okay.
All good.
Couldn't get the phone because why?
Because I was told that I
Who's
wasn't
tweeting at
a
me
registered
now?
user, because it was under my dad's name and everything. And then I was told I was a registered user, and then that
Jennifer Coffindaffer was actually tweeting back at me because I said in the tweet today, said, "Hey, T-Rev, you killed it with Jennifer Coffindaffer today." And she just tweeted back and said, "You bet," and gave me kind of the... So, yeah, maybe down the road, I have her on the show. I don't know, maybe I'll reach out to her, but let's keep playing through this.
Basically, they can't do anything unless he gives the sign off.
Yeah, exactly, man.
The account holder has to approve of it.
Right.
It's all good.
Okay. Didn't work.
It didn't work.
And then you went where?
And then after that, I went back, and then I think I just sat in my car for a little while, because I was just thinking, okay, well, how am I going to do this with everything that just happened? And
that'll be great.
From there, that's where I think I decided that I was going to maybe drive by the house.
Did you go drive by?
I didn't drive by the house. I was starting to go there down that Fort Christmas road, and then I was just like, I'm not gonna do it, because as far as I know, it's like, Dad's probably at work. I don't know if Cody works again today, and just like with everything that had been happening.
When you drove down there?
Yeah.
See anything strange?
No, I had seen like a couple of cars like pass by me, but
What do you mean cars?
like just standard, like just a little bit of traffic. But then apart from that, no, nothing.
How close did you get to the house?
Like a couple miles.
Okay. You leave there and you go where?
Let me just get to the super chat. Lakota's a 999 super chat. Thank you so much. She's a channel member as well. I appreciate the support. She says, bell notifications on, pass it on. Never miss the opportunity to see an outstanding show with a fantastic host. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lakota. I appreciate you. You're in here a lot. Again, the title doesn't say Idaho, so people are watching, but I'm going to tell you, tomorrow night, they'll all be back because they need to know what they're saying next. Oh man, this case is so crazy. It's not supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to get to this level, man. And just people are so wild and spun up about it. It's, people start to lose sight of what they're doing. We're talking about innocent victims. This is it's not a popularity contest. It's not I'm going to get more people to watch my show over your show and just talk bullshit. Let's hit these cases with some facts. Let's have some respect for these victims, their families, their communities. It's like I'm so glad that, back in the 90s, in 94, when my friend was killed, we didn't have outlets like this, because I'm sure, his case would have been talked like this. It would have spun people up. He was a very well-loved, respected, well-known kid. I think people just lose foresight of who they're actually talking about. You're talking about someone that's dead, that was murdered, that was scrubbed out. And that's hurtful. When you make up things like people are drug dealers and they're in drugs and they're in Mexican cartels. How do you think those families that watch these streams feel? I would be pissed. I would be outraged. I'd be writing shit down, getting ready to get my lawyer on the phone when this case concludes and start suing all these people. That's why I urge these creators, be very careful what you say. You're playing with someone's life, or someone that had a wonderful life, And the bottom line is, man, we don't know these people. You don't know them like the personal way that their families and their friends did. And I even feel disgusted about it now. Like, I feel like I don't even want to do Idaho streams anymore because there's so much crap that's put out there. It starts to hurt me because I'm sitting here and trying to give some truth. And believe me, I'm no fucking expert, but I try to keep it as truthful as I can to these victims. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I've always said this, our lives go on. Their lives have stopped. And not only those 4 people that were, innocently innocently innocent and then murdered, but those families' lives are impacted. Their lives have stopped, and they have to live with this for the rest of their life. And you will move on when you disconnect from this case. And then you'll jump on the next thing and exploit that. It's just not the right way to go about it. And think about what you're doing here. Please, I urge these creators, stop. It's hurtful. And it's hurtful for the people that are trying to shine a good light into this case, to give honest facts and honest information. I do this from my heart. I carry Idaho with me every single day. Every single day I wake up and think about it. And I've said this before. I need to know. I need to know what happened. But finding out what happened and giving bullshit information is not going to get you any closer. Oh, man. Lindsay says, I may have allowed notification settings on your mobile device, iPhone. It's setting notifications and scroll down on YouTube. Thank you. I just wanted to recognize that super chat. Victorine, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Again, I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow night and get more into this. And this is kind of a preview of what you're going to see tomorrow. This is a preview. I appreciate the chats. Truth and Justice Matters says there's so many cases we could be helping to find justice. I completely agree. I need to know, but I want the truth. Absolutely. That's all we ever want in this case. It's all we ever want in these cases. Brian, what I like about your channel is you stick to the facts and we can have intelligent conversations. Yeah, it's being an adult is what it is. There may only be, they may get subs in 1K viewing, but they're not sustainable and their mods are overworked with half the chat being trolls. That's why, Brian, take a break from Idaho 4. Absolutely. That's why I haven't been doing it. That's why I've been doing things like this. I kind of want to get back into interrogation videos. I love watching these videos. We had interest in these before. We've gotten away from them. And, there's only so many Idaho part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 streams you can do. Yeah, I believe there's some of that going on too, man. So, it hurts me. It just hurts me. These kids didn't know what was coming. How would you feel if you had to wake up in the morning and, or I'm just saying, a police officer's knocking on your door to tell you that your little girl has had a K-bar knife plunged through her chest and she's no longer with you. And then you got some idiot on a YouTube channel that's saying that she's a drug dealer and none of that is true. How can you vet that? How can you find that out? Oh, why? Because you sleuthed around, or you said, oh, hey, they're college kids, so they're involved in drugs. So what? They probably smoked a little pot, probably did some coke every once in a while. I don't fucking know. Whatever kids do in college. There's probably weed involved, but I don't think it's at the level that all these people are trying to say, that they're fucking moving drugs under their house in tunnels. I mean, it's crazy. They partied, they drank. You know, we all did when we were in college. Drank, smoked pot, whatever. I don't know. It just, it's crazy. All right, let's get back to what we were doing here. We're never going to get through this interrogation video. Thank you so much for listening. It's important to listen.
And then after I choose not to do that, then I go...
Rewind it about 15 minutes, Simba.
I go back towards the Goldenrod Express Scripts area because I thought that I had to do the skills checkoff thing. So then I'm going back that whole like Goldenrod-y area. I think I missed my exit, and then I had to get off at...
You go 408 again?
Yeah.
Expressway?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back and forth on the 408.
Right.
Okay.
And then I missed the Goldenrod exit, and then I like don't even think to get off on Cimarron. So then I end up like needing to go off on Crystal Lake Drive, and then I connect up with 50, and then I just go all the way back to the Goldenrod Road.
Right.
But then I stop off and I see if there was like any email updates or anything like that, and then
Check your email.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And then there was nothing. So then I was like, oh crap, it's not like today.
But you've got to pay for things. You've got some money
Right.
in your account.
You.
Right.
You got Cody's card, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Very beta.
You still have your dad's card?
Yes.
Okay, you still have that. Okay. Do you use any of them?
I had used Cody's card to pay for one of my bills that was outstanding.
What?
It was just one of those from that.
See, he's now walking into this. So he's going to get caught now paying off the $600 fee to get back on this site. And he used his brother's credit card. But he's going to say, I used it before, but he didn't because he used it. And then you're going to find out some other information here. So this is starting to get a little deep. They're figuring it out. Well, they already know, but he's starting to sweat a little bit here from his big melon head.
Site. It was just like a bill that had backed
How much
up
was that?
from there. $5.99.99.
Okay.
Um,
Cody, you know you were doing that?
Yeah.
He said it's okay to do that?
He said to use this to like survive until things can get figured out, because he knows that I only have a few $100s to my name.
When
He
did
told
you,
you
I
that
agree.
night that you
Right.
could
I agree,
use his
Dawn.
card and pay off what needed to be paid off?
He said to use it for like necessity.
did he give it to you?
Yes.
He gave it to you, said, here, take this and just
Yeah.
do whatever. But that was normal for him. He was,
Yeah,
he was,
because he had
for the most
always...
part, he was footing most of your bills.
Right,
at the time.
right.
Okay.
So then after the realization that I didn't have to do any skills checkoff, then after that, that's where I go to Waterford. And then at Waterford...
As this interrogation builds, and I'm sorry, I know people get mad at me when I stop the interrogation too much, but I'm trying to give context. You're going to start seeing the male detective doing that heavy sighing, like, I know you're lying. We know you're lying. Sigh.
Do
You stop anywhere with him?
I go into Panera because I think that I'm going to get something to eat.
About what time?
He doesn't even have his timeline straight.
This was like right before I went to the hotel, so it was like after that. Oh yeah, then after that, that's where I go to Waterford, and then at Waterford,
You stop anywhere with him?
I go into
Thank you, I
Panera
appreciate that.
because I think that I'm going to get something to eat.
About what time?
This was like right before I went to the hotel, so it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe.
Okay.
Me too.
And then in there, I think about getting something to eat, but then I don't really want to use like the other cards to pay for something, and then I know that I only have a little bit, but then I'm gonna have to like sleep somewhere. And again, I'm trying to use like my money for that type of stuff.
Trying to
So
get
then I'm only in Panera for like 10 minutes or something like that. And then I end up leaving from there, and then that's where I go to the DoubleTree, and then that's where I checked in. And then I was at the DoubleTree all night.
Did you go anywhere? Leave?
I only came out of the DoubleTree to, I think, get like a water bottle out of my car and to get like, oh yeah, to get my like my razor out just in case I needed to shave or something like that.
In your room. What's in your room?
Thank you, Lindsay.
At the DoubleTree, it's my leather, like just shoulder bag, and then it has my other small leather
I love
shoulder
your
bag,
hat,
I guess
by
you
the
would
way.
call it, but it's like really, it's like a satchel.
Beautiful.
Okay. What's in it? What's in this bag?
In the satchel, it's just got some batteries, some protein bars, just some like ration type food, and then in my
ration type food
big carry, it's got just like some clothes, standard clothes. It had my like.
Remember too, there's a part in this interrogation that I always catch these parts in interrogations and I would like repeat them to myself throughout the day. And he says in one part, he goes, "I'm just trying to move in a more positive direction."
Like all the electronic chargers and whatnot that I could get, just kind of like grabbing and putting in there. And then it has my Surface,
grab that soundbite,
my cell phone, and my iPad.
Yeah.
And then it's got like some like bills, like some previous bills.
Does your cell phone have a lock on it?
Yes.
What's the lock?
2112.
Here you go.
2112.
Get into
lock on the cell phone. How about
We're already unlocking it.
The iPad, I don't know. I never turned it on.
Oh, you've never even used it?
No. I've used it before, but I never turned it on since I got it back. Because my dad was like keeping all of that stuff like locked and put it somewhere.
Slept there last night? Talked to anybody?
I messaged the girl that I'd been talking to on Twitter.
Yeah. On Twitter, so you have to pay for it.
Right.
Did she respond back to you?
I think once, like one or two responses.
What's your Twitter address? I'm sorry, I'm not a Twitter person.
No, it's just Grant A. It's just what it is.
It's just Grant A.
With a space.
Grant space A.
I think if you type in Grant space A, it'll like pull up my picture.
Okay.
But it's like one of those Grant space A 8495000. Yeah, it's got like 9 numbers after.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not a Twitter person. I don't know that much about it. Sorry, when you get at our age, sometimes some of these things have passed you by. And, I appreciate it.
Do you have any information? Wow, this is. Was there a case, or yeah, is there any information you can send me on that? I'll take a look into it for you. I'm gonna post my email in the chat. Sure. Yeah, we can chat offline. If you want, you can send me an email and we can go from there. We'll talk about it. My email is in the chat. I just dropped it. I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah, in rising from ashes, absolutely. If you want to send me some information, sure, send it over. I'd love to hear about it. Just reach out to me via email. Detective John says, "No one owns me as a guest. Doesn't make me property. Gravitate to people that have good morals and character. You exude those vibes, brother." Thank you. I appreciate that, Detective John. We got to get together soon, man. If you're on around tomorrow night, or you want to jump on the panel for a little bit, I can send you over the StreamYard link. And I'm going to do a little Idaho tomorrow. And if you want to jump on there and we can talk a little bit more how we feel about this, I'm definitely open to that. So, yeah, he's a clown. Something different. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Rising. You can send that email over. Please do. I'll get to it. I just wrote back a couple of people today, and I appreciate the emails too. So, Lindsay, I'm so sorry for your loss. let's talk about it. You know, maybe we can get some information out there. Oh boy. You know, maybe I can get John to help me out a little bit and see what we can figure out. I have a great team of mods as well that are great at investigating stuff, so we can look into that for you and see what we can do and get some information out there. All right, let's play through this a little bit more. I want to get a little bit further in it, and then tomorrow on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to come back and do the conclusion because this has been a very long interrogation. Obviously, we've been talking in between too, so yeah, we'll do that. Cool, man. Let's get a little bit more deeper into this. I'm going to try to do another half an hour, 45 minutes. I know it's late, but it's only Saturday, so we'll make it. And then tomorrow I'll come back and do the conclusion of this. And then I'm going to start doing the trial because I want you all to see that trial too. And I haven't really watched any of it for a while, so it'd be good. All right, let's keep going. Now he's keep in mind here, they're starting to back him up majorly up against the wall now. His fucking story is going to start falling apart, but he's going to stick through it and say, I didn't know anything.
So the Surface and iPad have no passwords.
The Surface, my computer has a password, but it's, again, the pin is just 2112.
You just use the home address.
Yeah.
So I'm easy to remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but with the iPad, I don't know if it has a password on it because I never turned that on again once I got it back.
Okay. So you stay there
Right.
and wake up this morning.
Right.
Nobody else in the room.
Nobody else is
Rented in your name.
rented in my name.
Okay. You come out and do what? You come out of the room today to go where? Where are you going?
I was going to go down because I had like one more bottle of water in my car,
Mhm.
and I had just finished eating like just a little granola bar thing, so I was like, I'm just going to go down and get my bottle of water.
And you found what?
Water.
All the police
Police
officers
officers,
were there, yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, do you
Yeah,
know
he does.
if there was a password on the iPad prior to your dad taking
That's
it?
what I was saying, John. I don't know if you were in here earlier. I'm like, they know everything. Like, they know everything.
Yeah, but it was just, they were always like 2112.
Okay,
was
so
whatever
everything
the-
was the same.
Yeah.
Here, we got a better map, just to,
Okay.
and I can't see that.
Okay.
I'm blind.
I got to get my night
Mills. Okay.
bot set up.
We've marked off there just for ease, and it's not. There's your house.
Okay.
Here's the guy with the fence with the lights there,
Right.
and you went down Fort Christmas going into Orange County.
Right.
And I would suspect this is about somewhere around a mile, give or take,
Okay.
from your development
Do
entity.
you remember a cross street or anything that it was near?
I don't know if it's on here,
Yeah, easy for us.
because it would be a road that's like coming in this direction, where it's
A
like,
side road or like somebody's private road?
no, it's like a side road. It's like a road that inevitably collects back up with 417, and it's like it's
Or
got,
50? I think what you're saying, that road, it should come back to 50, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a split where it splits off, and if you go left, it'll wind up.
oh, it was before that. Yeah, it was before that split, where if you take that,
You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
But it was before that. It's where there's another road that's intersecting that has like a metal guardrail, like a long metal guardrail. And it's just like a little, I don't know, I can't really describe
Oh,
it.
no problem, man. It's all good.
It's
Okay.
like it should be a road that's coming in from this direction. I just have no idea. I mean, unless it's like one of these that's just like right off the map or something like that.
Okay, here is, I think this goes back out, if I'm not mistaken, goes back out to where?
Dina, thank you so much. Appreciate you for being here.
Lake Pickett. Lake Pickett Road goes all the way from Percival. It comes out and crosses Chulia Road 419. It goes back through some developments, some new developments, winds its way around, and kind of looks like that. Does that look about right? Fort Christmas, before that road comes in, it's a good road.
Yeah.
There's a stop sign that way. So probably, you think, right around there before you get back into the actual Bithlow proper area?
Yeah.
Could that have been it? Like right around,
Yeah,
right around
it
here?
was close to
There,
that.
was there a church right there? The Catholic Diocese of Orlando has got some property there?
No, I mean, all that I can remember is just like
Because right
the
here-
fields and all that
Because
stuff.
right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, is where you live at.
They
Right.
got him.
Is right, I think right there.
Yeah.
Sultan's right there.
So then, yeah.
That other road comes down, you say where the lights are down that way, and the only real road that comes down and goes back to the east will be that right there. So it's probably that.
Yeah, I did not know.
But it looks like a decent sized road. It wasn't just like a little driveway or somebody's private road.
And then it winds through.
So it'd be Lake Pickett.
Highway,
was it 420? 420.
I just dropped the link in the chat.
So somewhere in that intersection.
Somewhere, yeah.
And then when you left Cody, what did he say he was going to go do?
Cody said that he will take care of it.
Take care of what?
Yeah.
Just the situation that was at hand with whatever he had been updated with from my mom.
Did he tell you what he was updated?
He had told me the reason why, like, I'd been kicked out. But he really didn't give me that much dialogue, like, about that situation. You know, he was miffed a little bit because, you know, he had just gotten off work and now he has to go deal with this. And then after that, I mean, it was just, he gave me the debit card to say, you know, to use this in case of emergencies. And then, I mean, that was pretty much it, because I don't know if, like, he had already said that he was on his way home, or if there were expectations, like, for a time with him for making it home.
But what was your demeanor? Like, what did Cody see you as? Like, were you
like scared?
Upset?
Yeah, like, I was scared because, I mean, like I said, it's the first time that I had been out of the house, you know.
So you were scared of what? Being on your own, or did your father say or do anything to scare you?
He had threatened me that if I stepped foot back on his property, not the house, but if I stepped foot back on his property, that he would kill me. And, like, he
said those specific words?
Yeah.
Did you tell that to Cody? That your father told you that?
No, I didn't.
So you're afraid of him?
Oh, yeah.
You are actually afraid that he could kill you.
Yeah, and it's also because, like, in the past, like, 2 weeks before I got kicked out, my dad was going through, like, a lot of episodes where he was losing his temper a lot, yelling a lot, especially when me and Cody weren't at the house.
I always notice that too in people that are guilty. They always overtalk, and that's a really great that's a really good thing that you pointed out. And they always seem like it's rehearsed. But this guy's a clown because he fucked up his times and his timeline, because there was even questions when they were asking him about specific times. He's like, when did I say that I went and met my mom? So he didn't have his timeline all squared up, because I don't think that he thought that they were going to dig that deep. I think he thought he was going to pull the wool over the sheep's eye. What do they call it? The wool over the sheep's eyes. Did I say that right? Right? Did I say that right? Let me know in the chat. Did I say that right? Is that the expression? The wool over the sheep's eyes? Did I get that right?
And
who was he yelling at?
My mom.
So was he being violent to your mom?
Yeah, like, I think
physically or just emotionally?
Both.
Did I say that right?
Put his hands on her.
He had bruised her left arm by grabbing it. And then apparently she had said that on one of the nights that they were in the kitchen together, and then
that's a good example too. You know, truth says maybe he lost track of his lies. He does, because when you spin a lie, you're spinning a lie to cover a lie to cover a lie to cover a lie. You forget where that original lie came from. That's why the truth always comes out. Detective John says he didn't tell the lie enough to subliminally send Bud Brain to the message. Yeah. All right, let's keep playing.
He was like throwing food at her and then banged her head against the wall a couple times.
So, and I'm not going to speak bad of your dad, but he's kind of a violent guy.
I mean,
you have a reason to be afraid of him.
And then the thing that I was getting to was that apparently my mom was so scared at one point, because it had been a while since he had been like this, that she had taken like a couple or a number of voice memos on her phone whenever he would like come in and then start, like, she knew that, you know, something like he was going to start to get upset. And that on multiple occasions, he had told her that basically if I fuck up, sorry for the language, but if I screw up, he's going to kill me, and then he's going to kill her.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Because he blames everything that happens negatively with me and with Jason, not with Cody, but with me and Jason on her, because we're her favorites.
So you have a reasonable belief in your mind that your dad could hurt you.
Yes.
He could hurt your mom.
Yes.
He could maybe hurt Jason.
Yes.
I think his father was a dickhead, but I don't think it was anything past like you know, I think he was, you know, someone that yelled, but I think it was more of the frustration that his fucking kid took $200,000 and wasted it on this cam girl. I think that's where the frustration came. He basically bankrupted his parents. I mean, I showed the house earlier. I mean, they weren't living in some slum. They were living in a very nice house. He had a very good life. He was provided, you know, he's just, you know, this wackaloon that got wrapped up in this cam girl. And then when his parents told him, nope, you can't do that anymore, he was going to still do it, and he took him out.
He's a violent guy. I'm sorry, I've been this a long time. He sounds like a violent guy.
Yeah.
See, now the detective is going to start kind of siding with him to try to get more out of him. You know, they're building that rapport.
Quick to lose his temper with you over minuscule stuff.
Minuscule stuff. Yeah.
I get the point. He's upset about the amount of money. I do get that.
Right.
But physically, he's abusive.
Yes.
And it's kind of embarrassing as you're an adult male right now. He's been abusive of you for years, has he not?
Yeah. I mean, more mentally over the course.
But it has been to the point where you, as a 29-year-old male, right, 29, that you're afraid that your father could kill you.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it's like,
yeah, 100%. Detective John.
You know, at the house, I mean, I have like no access to anything. So I mean, it's literally just like me. And you know, I told you,
access to anything.
Right.
You mean what?
Like, you know, anything to defend myself. You know, like I
The guns in the
sold
house?
all my guns.
You sold it. Does Cody have guns in the house?
He does, but they're like locked up somewhere.
Dad have guns in the house?
Again, yeah, but they're locked up somewhere.
And you don't have access to them?
I don't even have a house key. I don't have a house key. I don't have any keys to
he's
the
so
doors
scared.
inside the house.
Oh,
all I had
good.
was my car key. That's all
What
I
would
did.
you
And
do?
that night when you argued with your father and you said he grabbed your shirt and pulled you off the couch, did he do anything else to you physically?
No, he didn't like pursue it anymore. He was just.
Did you tell Cody that he acted that
No.
way towards you?
No, I didn't.
Cody had no idea that there was a heated physical, just the argument that you needed to get
Right.
out because
Yeah,
you were
he
talking to
did.
this girl.
Right.
Yep.
We've come and talked to you.
Okay.
You wrote up here voluntarily
Here it comes.
to talk to us. Why do you think we're having this conversation?
John probably knows this point in the interrogation. He knows.
I honestly don't know, but I'm
Hey, Tanya, how are
pretty
you?
freaked out at this point because,
Had a good stream tonight.
you know, it's, I mean, I know like how the situation was when I left, and, you know, I thought that it was weird to begin with that I hadn't gotten any communication whatsoever. I mean, like I had told you, my brother, Cody, the last time, when I was away from the house, that he was the one who outreached to me via email, because again, I didn't have my phone or anything like that. So, I mean, I thought that it was weird, but I had just been kind of putting it out of my mind, thinking, okay, you had to go to work, or they're busy or something.
When you were in your room, the hotel room, hanging out, watching TV?
No, I didn't turn on the TV. I had on just like music.
You sure about that?
In the background.
Love this.
Just kind of helped me go to sleep.
Are you sure about that? Because the hotel,
Boom.
it's weird, and I didn't know this. I used to travel a lot for work. They can tell because of the TV every channel you've been on when the TV is turned off. Because I guess they have a problem. Yeah, I guess they have a problem with people stealing from that.
Oh, wow.
So those things are well monitored, even though it looks like a TV.
Yeah. I never even touched the TV remote. I didn't turn on that TV at all. I was just using my service to like watch YouTube initially, and then
Well, it's parents' money.
100K. And then
you were still using the service to check things.
Right.
So there'll be a history of everywhere you went on it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. As a child, we're told the truth always is
Here
the
it
best
comes.
thing to do,
Here's the
correct?
turn.
Correct.
You agree with it?
Yeah.
Here's the
And
turn.
accidents happen, and things in the heat of the moment, things happen that we wish hadn't happened. But I do it myself sometimes. My kids would make me so aggravated, I'll snap at them and then walk away and say, wow, I wish I would not have done that. That was not very adult of me.
Yeah, it did took a little while.
Snap at my child for something. Yes.
They had to build 2 hours to get to this point, but they had to build it up and start backing him up against the wall so he could back him. They just basically allowed him to back himself into the wall. So now he's at a point, and you can see his posture's changing a little bit here. He's kind of like, oh shit, they might be on to me here.
Yes, they're wrong.
He's going to think he's smart and still try to wiggle his way out of it. No, do you think this beta male had kids?
but
Kids.
I should be the adult and not snap at them.
Right.
No kids.
Tell me what you think,
Data.
because I can tell by,
You
I've
can
done
see
this
his
for a
body
long, long
language.
time, and I read people, the way they act, and the way they talk to me, and the way they answer questions. There's something you want to tell us. I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your body language, and just the way you act. Now's the time. Now's the time. If there's something you want to get off your chest, and give us an explanation.
Telling you hit that 10,000 yet? When you gonna hit that 10,000? Let's get you to 10,000. Let's get me to 10,000. Have you hit 10,000 yet? What's your sub count right now? So when you do that celebration stream, I'll be over there.
Of what's bothering you. Now is the exact time to do it. And I'm giving you that opportunity.
Yeah, you'll get there. You got a good
right now to tell me something you want to get off your chest. It's there. I can see it in your face. I can see it in your eyes.
Kept out about that night.
You're upset about it. You've been that since we've talked to you. I can see there's something's been bothering you. Even though I don't know you from Adam's house cat, you see things in people that
Adam's house cat.
something's really bothering this guy. It's not that, I spent a bunch of money I shouldn't have on this girl. So be it. You did. It's over with. Money can be made back. Something's bothering you.
I'm just worried about what is all transpiring from this.
I think at this point right now, to be honest with you, Grant, you know what it is. It's in your eyes.
Oh, dude,
your eyes is the view to your soul,
his
and
big
it's in your eyes.
alien head
And
watermelon.
it sounds stupid, and people don't believe it. Like I told you out there in the car, did I not tell you? You may not like what I say, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth every time, because I can walk in front of anybody in God and say, I don't care. I told him the truth.
I had some momentum for a little while, and then my channel just fell off. I mean, look. I mean, listen, I love all of you for being here. I think the smaller chats are actually better. I think it's greater when there's, but I don't get it. It's just, I was going from nights that are 400, 500, 600 people watching, and here we are. I feel like my channel just started today, but I love it. This is great. I think the last 2 nights have been some of my best chats. You guys are great, but it's just weird. I have 35 people watching. I don't get it. Maybe they're all against me now. You know what it is? It's because I've been telling the truth. That's why. I've been telling the truth about Idaho, and they don't like it.
And we usually know answers before we ask it.
Right.
I knew
I love the
me
small
and
group.
Eva knew everything before.
I think it's the best, because you know why?
We asked you the questions.
The bottom line at the end of the day, the people that show up all the time in the small groups, those are the people that generally care about you. And they're really invested in you as a person. So it's I love it. I love the smaller, because look we've had great content the last 2 nights. Detective John called in. We did that hour with him, which was spontaneous, and it was so great. And then tonight, we're hanging out. It's a Saturday night. We're just, busting back, having a few laughs, watching interrogation video. We got John in here. We got Titanium Built in here. I mean, this is fucking great. And channel members are here tonight. It's just really, really good. Oh, by the way, we're going to do this. So, it's good stuff. The small chats are the best. And then these off streams, everybody's missing like this great content. Look we're all joking around. We're having fun tonight. This is what this should be about. I know we cover serious stuff, very sensitive stuff that can trigger people. But if we can open ourselves up a little bit sometimes and laugh and give some comedy, maybe to some people that are hurting, maybe going through some tough times, and have them have a different perspective of how they look at things. Their cases, cases that they may be involved in, or maybe a friend or a family member, and help guide them through that. Listen, I'm not law enforcement. I'm not an expert. I didn't take any legal stuff, any legal classes. But I just try to be a realist, just try to be a realist. Lakota, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. She's a channel member as well. She said, let's smack that like button. And thankfully, kindly, Brian deserves to be at 10K. Let's help him get there. It'll happen. It's just going to take a little while longer. It's going to be. And Tuck John says it's called integrity, man. Yeah, absolutely. Text of John says, if I had to, hey, titanium built, if I had to build a tire sub, it would be out of titanium and not use carbon fiber. Well, they would be alive. Just saying. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then Truth and Justice says, don't let the toxic people change you. You're doing great. They think they could do better, but don't know anything about what it takes to be a creator. Well, I appreciate that. Listen, I'm not saying I'm the best creator in the world. I'm not saying, I'm just hanging out. I'm just some idiot in my bedroom that makes YouTube videos. That's what I say. So my bed is right there. I'm in my bedroom. One day, my dream is to get this out of my bedroom and get it into a small studio and then go from there. And then go from there and go from there. And I would love to just even have not even a third. I don't even know what the lowest fraction in there is. What's the lowest fraction of Joe Rogan's audience? I would love that. To be in that position. God, that would be so cool. Just to talk to just so many different people. That's what I love doing. I just love conversating with people. I want to know about people. I want to know what makes them tick. I want to know their life experiences, things that they've gone through. I think a lot of that stems from the relationship with my father, because I have a very fractured relationship with my father. And I've actually been talking to someone lately that's, I see my dad maybe once every couple of years. We don't pick the phone up and talk to each other on the regular, if anything. I think maybe the last time I talked to him on the phone was probably a year ago. But it's like my dad is getting older and I'm getting older. And I don't know anything about my dad. All that I know about him is he drives a truck and he's in the union. In every conversation that we've ever had since the time my mom left him up until now, me at 45 years old, every time we get together and have a dinner or a lunch, it's always him talking about his time on the road and in the truck and hauling dirt. But I don't know my dad. I don't know anything about him. And it's funny, the other day on Facebook, how like you can see sometimes in your feed when someone connected to you answers under a specific question or whatever. So my dad must have answered something in this group. It was a 60s, 70s, 80s music group. And it said, what was the first concert that you've ever been to? And my dad answered the question. And hang on a second. My dad answered the question and he said, the first concert that I ever went to was The Doors it was either 69 or 70 at the Boston, I think it was at the Boston Garden. And he's like, the Stone Ponies played and he like was writing about the whole show. I was like, holy shit. I never knew that about him. I would love to hear all of those experiences. I would love to hear all those things that he went through. So I think, kind of round out my point here is, I like to sit down and just listen to people and listen to their stories and how they got from, essentially when they're born to where they are at that point in their life now. It's just very interesting to see how different everybody's journey is through life. And we're all here right now. It's 11:15 on a Saturday night and I have people in a chat and I have people on camera watching me. It's weird, like I would never thought I would have been here 2-3 years ago. But that's all the interesting stuff. That's all the good stuff. And I think that's the itch that scratches people in the whole Idaho thing too, is people just want to know. But there's a right way and a wrong way about going about it. But anyway, to kind of finish my point, and we'll get back to the video here, is that I'm building up to having that either phone call or that in-person meeting with my father. And I just, I just want him to know that I forgive him. And I want him to know who he missed out on. Whew, that's deep, man. Shit. Sorry, that hit deep. But all right, let's get back to this.
Now's the time to come to Jesus, be honest, because you're holding something back. I can see it in your eyes. People don't believe that the police will help you, but we are actually here to help you with issues you may have. I think something happened, and you don't want to tell us, but right now is the time to get it off your chest. And I really wish you would, because it will make you feel better in the end.
I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say
back. I need a moment, guys. I'll be right
the
back.
night or the periods of time afterwards.
There's only one opportunity to make that good impression. And if we've done something we shouldn't have done, you fess up to it. You caught your hand in a cookie jar, you do it. Now,
is there anything else that happened at the house that you didn't tell us, that you've left out, or we haven't asked you, that would be of importance? Or during the time that you drove around for those few hours, did you ever really go back to the house that you haven't told us about?
Something that happened that caused you to defend yourself.
No, because again, it's like I didn't have any means to defend myself. I mean, I didn't.
Well, we know from talking to that there's weapons in the house.
Right.
We know that to be a fact. Something happened that caused you to defend yourself. Whether you had anything or not, you found something to defend yourself with. I can't tell you everything. I'm not going to tell you everything. But something happened, whether your dad blew up on you, threatened you, physically harmed you, or hurt you. Something happened that caused an altercation.
And I didn't do anything at the house besides get my stuff together and take it out to my car. And that's, I mean, I didn't, besides that one thing that I told you guys where I was going down the road to come back maybe, besides that, I mean, I didn't.
So you saw nothing that was out of the ordinary?
I just got to stop this again for a second. I'm sorry. So Truth and Justice is, Brian, you made me think in what, and that was a profound moment. Thank you for sharing with us. You know, we as people, as human beings, we need to get up every single day and just be the best person we can. It's because you don't know, you may not wake up tomorrow. And if you want to circle this into Idaho, those kids didn't know that was going to happen. So, get up and be the best person you can. If someone's down, talk to them, let them know. If someone's hurting, let them know. There's other ways. I have fractured relationship with my father. I have a excellent relationship with my mother. My half brother committed suicide quite a while ago, so I've been through that as well. I've been through a murder. If you all didn't know, my best friend was murdered, so I've been through that. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through a lot in my life. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, this stuff affects us sometimes. It does affect us as creators. It does affect us. I'm going to go up and recognize this huge super chat. Wow. Rising from the Ashes, $49.99 super chat. You did not have to do that. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your channel member. Says showing you some love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Then I had a $5 super sticker as well from Boo69. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just trying to be real with everybody. We got to be real in these cases, man. It just bothers me. I have so much to talk about tomorrow night and get so much off my chest. And we'll dig more into that in Idaho tomorrow. So, but thank you so much. That was very, very kind. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. Let's keep playing through this.
Right.
No.
In the Fort Christmas area or 419 area?
Thank you.
No, I mean.
Did you even get up to the Lake Mills Fort Christmas area where that guy's blinking lights are?
No. When I came back, I didn't come up to there.
There is, and you're a better electronics than I am. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that.
Yeah,
There's a digital footprint, and there's ways to see things that we know.
Okay, so this is very important. What did the detective just say? We have a digital footprint. We know things. This is going to be very relevant in Idaho. It was very relevant in Murdaugh.
That don't make sense. Even though your phone may not have service, there's still issues with the phone.
Right.
And it was on you the entire time
Yeah.
when you left the house
Yeah.
until you were in touch with law enforcement.
I can track places you've been, and I know where you have been, and I know what time you've been there.
There's cast.
And what
Cast.
everything you're telling me isn't just copacetic and doesn't add up. Because there's what I think, what you think, what she thinks, and then there's things that are hard facts that you can't manipulate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think something happened at the house based on my knowledge right now, and you're afraid to say it. You're afraid to come back and say that I was a victim, I was hurt, I had something that happened there that I don't want you to tell because it's something maybe embarrassing or not good. But I know a lot more than I can let on right now. And things you're not telling me, I can't help you if you won't let me help you.
So where's the missing piece? What have we missed here?
I mean, when I had come back that other time, I crossed in front of the dude's fence, the red blinking lights ones.
What time was that?
I can't remember.
That was Friday during the day when you said you were going to come back.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But it was after you did your interview.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you did that, you would have seen something, and there would be something out of the ordinary that you would have seen. If you passed that, you passed something out of the ordinary. What was it?
I saw like a news van, and then I don't think there might have been like a cop car. There was like traffic being.
Human nature. What do people do when I go back to my old neighborhoods? And I've lived a couple of places in Central Florida in the 23 years I've been here. I see something major going on. I get on my phone or I get on my computer. So I wonder what's happened by my neighborhood, and look.
Thanks.
Did that even
John,
spark
I
your
appreciate you, man.
attention?
There's a digital footprint of
We're gonna get this, man. We're gonna
where
get
I went on my phone.
Really?
It's right here, phone. They can tell me I looked at these maps on my phone because it's on there.
Right.
The memory's there. You can't delete it. You can't. You came back to the neighborhood. You saw some things that are really out of the ordinary.
Right.
And I don't believe for a second that you thought
Yeah, Lindsay and Rising. Yeah, send me over those emails you wanted to send.
that I'm not going to look what's going on. What happened to my neighborhood?
I mean, I
That
didn't
again.
search it up on anything on any of the devices that I have.
Did you search it somewhere else?
At
Remember, like I said, I know things that you don't know, and honesty will get you all the things I could do for you.
Thank
I
you. I
can't deal with
appreciate you.
someone who lies to me,
Right.
but I'll
Thank you.
deal with
Yeah.
someone and help them till the end, no matter what, believe it or not. That's just me, and she'll tell you, it's what it is. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say if I can do something that can help you, I'm going to help you, because every
Thank
one
you,
of us
Titanium.
make mistakes and do things we shouldn't have done in the heat of the moment to protect our.
You know, Tanya is a great person. I really enjoy her. I really enjoy the panel that we've done together. She has a great channel over there. She not only covers Idaho, she does a bunch of other content. She always says, I've done I think it's like 31 cases. I think that's the last number you gave me. I might be wrong on that, but go over and support her, man. Let's get her to 10,000 subscribers. You know, she's really killing it over there and deserves. She does a lot of content on her channel and puts a lot of hard work into it. And I always laugh. Everybody says, "Oh, you're all you guys make so much money and this and that." We don't care about that. We care about getting justice for these victims. We care about doing it the right way. And a YouTuber, when they nail you with the taxes and 30% that YouTube takes from you, it's not a lot. So all the money that I get from everything that people give me, or the clicks and views, literally just go back into this channel to run it, because I have a StreamYard service is like $600 a year. So, and I have lights and equipment that I have to get. So, what do you say? She says, I'll give you $100 super chat if Detective John calls in and sings the song to cheer Brian up. Chat picks the song. All right. Well, we'll see if he's game on it. I got to recognize this new member. So Truth and Justice Matters has become a new member of the channel, has become a rookie detective. Thank you so much for becoming a member. If you all are subscribed to members content, you can go on my landing page. That's the home page. Scroll all the way down to the below, and you'll see all my members only content. I try to do at least a video a week, just give you some insight of some things that are coming up on the channel. I will drop one tomorrow. I have another video that I'm working on, and then tomorrow night I'll be live. And then tomorrow morning I'll be live, because I know we're not going to finish this interrogation tonight. But Detective John, thank you, brother, so much for the $49.99. I appreciate you, man. You didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me get to some of this. It does take a lot. She's right. It takes a lot. And we're here. We do it the right way. And that's why I've done things with Titanium built. That's why I've gravitated towards, having her on my panel. And I always told her, if she needs me over there, just let me know. If I'm not working, I'll come chill. You got to let me know, because I'm going to come over there sometime, Tanya, soon. I don't mind. I want to come over and support you. So, Sally says, I'm limiting my true time content to Delphi in the Idaho once the trial starts, but I like your authenticity and rebranding of your channel. So here I am. Thank you. That's the thing. I haven't really changed. Essentially what happened was, this channel has been up and live for about 3 years. I can just give you a little background if you haven't heard the story yet. And I started out doing watch content because I was in the watch business. Actually, it started, it was car content first. I featured a couple of my BMWs on it. I was building them and racing them and all that shit. And then I went into watch content because I was in the watch industry for like 16 years. And then I tried doing just a standalone podcast where we were talking about current events. And I had a co-host with me, and we did about 8 months, and we were ripping through it. I almost want to re-release those episodes because we were doing some really great stuff. But it's not true crime. We weren't doing true crime. We were just doing like everyday pop culture stuff, talking politics a little bit. And then the channel just became stagnant. It wasn't doing anything. I lost my co-host. I was going to keep streaming. I just got a little frustrated, and I said, well, I don't think I'm going to do YouTube anymore. I shut the channel down for a couple months, just wasn't active on it. And I came back, and I came back with the Opinionated Idiot. And I literally was going to do a political channel, because if you go on and look at my homepage, I have some political stuff up there. And I don't know. I just got kind of interested in this Idaho case. I made one video and I got some really great clicks on it. And here I am. And I think it just, it gave me the opportunity to talk about my friend, because I've done a live stream on that. I did it very early on, and you can go back and look at the title of that video. It's My Best Friend Was Murdered in 1994. It's on my page. And what I did was I took all the newspaper clippings that I saved through the entire trial, and I literally timelined it on that episode. And we went through, and I actually went down to Office Max, one of those office places, scanned everything in and brought it up as presentation on the computer. So we go through the entire case of how everything unfolded. And my friend did not get justice in that case. The 2 people that murdered him walked, because the laws for juveniles were very different back then. So, so that's a little bit of my background. Everybody's trying to get these, Detective John can't carry a tune to save my life, so I know you can do better than I. Everybody's really egging you on to do this, Detective John. I think you're going to be called to the table here, brother. I can sing El Ho Cool J and love. Do not call me and sing a love song. So everybody's wanting you to sing. You do it where your heart is. Absolutely. He's got my number. He can call me. So what was it? Lindsay said, she says it's up in the chat. All right, until we figure this all out.
Yourselves or to protect somebody else. It happens.
She was going to give what
I know you've searched for
he
something.
has my number.
I know something. I can't tell you exactly.
He'll call me.
But you said once you tell me, I'll tell you if you're being
I've never got $100.
On when I had gone to Panera, I searched for like top stories, Oviedo or Chulio.
I've only seen a couple people get 500. That's crazy. Wait, I have gotten a 500 before. One time, a long time ago. Those are crazy. That's
or something like that.
I found what?
And then I saw that there was it was like just the initial.
You can call me and rap.
Like it had like a video, but I didn't listen to the video, but it had just an initial thing of that there was shootings in Salton Circle, but it didn't say like the address or who's involved. It was just like this is the preliminary.
Was that on one of the news stations?
What
was the site you searched?
I honestly can't remember. I think it was one of the Weshes, but.
And you saw the story, because we've seen the same stories. You've seen the story, because there's a thing that will tell me how long of the time you spent on that.
Right.
You saw what happened.
Yeah, I was on there for like 20 seconds.
Well, what was your thoughts when you reviewed this story?
I was freaking out, and I was just like blank.
So where we are now is this. We're in the interrogation. He's saying that he saw information come up about this shooting in Salton Circle, and that's where he lived. But you have to think, he still hasn't asked. We're almost 2.5 hours? 2 hours into the interrogation, he hasn't asked anything about his parents. Not once.
Like, I didn't know what to do.
Now's the time. Now is the time.
So what do you think happened?
No, it's fun. This is what we want to do.
I think that there was something that obviously happened at the house.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know what happened.
I know better. Listen to me. I know better. I can help you.
You have my number, bro. Whenever you want to do that.
I can help you.
Call me. We'll do.
We think something else happened before you left the home that you're either afraid of or embarrassed to talk about. But we need to know exactly what happened, because like Danny said, we can place you there at certain times. And so we need to know what happened before you left that house, because you didn't leave with everything being okay.
I honestly, I don't have anything else that I can really say. I mean, I don't know.
Do you even know why law enforcement got involved? Like what brought us to that home?
No,
You just said it. You know something bad happened there. Out of your voice, not mine. I have not told you anything what's happened there. Something bad happened. You're here with us for a couple hours. You admit that you looked at a site and seen something bad happen. because the video is not of just a general area. It's of a specific location, correct?
Yeah, I saw like a driveway or something.
Whose driveway did you say?
Rising, if you're still here, I just quickly read through your email. I will get a response back to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for sending that email. I will respond to you tomorrow. It was very touching, and we can privately talk about that. So thank you.
I don't know. I saw like there was like a gate. There was a gate, and then I saw like that there was like 2 cars, but then I didn't see anything past that.
Okay.
Well, is that driveway and gate your home?
I promise.
I honestly did not
tomorrow.
fixate on it for like a long period of time. I saw like the one with an actual like gate.
You've been here with us. You think something bad has happened at your house. And to date, so long, you haven't even asked us about anybody.
Well, that's because for the last time that I was arrested, I mean, like nobody would tell me anything.
Everybody's hearing you, John. You got to.
Once you start telling me something that's truthful that I know, then we're going to have a conversation of exactly what happened.
I mean, you're a smart guy. You know something's happened at your home.
Microphones.
You have law enforcement here. You haven't heard or gotten any
Well,
emails.
I mean, I'm just.
Oh, I think this is it when he goes, I'm just trying to move in a more positive direction. Let's back this up a little bit. This is good.
You know exactly what happened.
I mean, you're a smart guy. You know something's happened at your home. You have law enforcement here. You haven't heard or gotten any emails.
I mean, I'm just scared as to what the answer is.
Well, you need to help yourself by filling in the blanks of what happened that night so we can give you the answer.
It's crazy. You're going in October. I'm going to see I'm going to see my favorite artist of all time in September. And I'm so glad that I'm getting to go because this is probably the last time that he's going to tour or do anything like this. And the great thing about it is he's going to be playing his first album through entirety. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm going to be like in awe when I go because it's the first time I'll ever be seeing him. So I'm going to be like, oh my God. So I'm super stoked in September 11th, which is kind of weird. I'm going.
Did anything more happen with you and your father besides him grabbing you up from the couch and yelling at you and kicking you out? Anything at all? Did he harm you, hit you?
No.
Draw any weapons on you?
No, he didn't do anything like that. I mean, he was just yelling.
This is the time to come to Jesus, to be honest, because you know more.
I am a huge Danzig fan, from Misfits, Samhain, all the way up to Danzig. I mean, you can see my very rare Misfit poster in the back. I have a very rare Misfit poster over there. I have some first pressing albums that are super ridiculously hard to get. Yeah, I could go on about the Misfits and Danzig for like ever. Look, I just could even go like this. I have just shirts that I haven't even worn yet. Misfit shirts, I have everything. Yeah, I have so much stuff. I have like signs. I could get into this forever. I have signed stuff from the band. Just something about, I'm telling you, if you like rock music, one of the most underappreciated albums of all time, look at the Danzig first album. It kills all the way through. If you love the crisp sound of like AC/DC, and you love, if you love like the crisp sounds of like AC/DC, and you love the Cult, dude, and you love like Elvis, Jim Morrison vocals, bro, I'm telling you, listen to that album. It'll blow your mind. You're like, what? It is seriously one of the most underrated, underappreciated albums of all time, and I'll show you what it looks like. Hang on. I wish I could play it, because if you even if you like Black Sabbath, but this is, you want to look for this album. And yeah, I got signed shit, like that's signed. I got so much shit. I have so much, not as much as some of the real crazy misfit heads, but yeah, this is, that's the 1988. You can't get any better than this album, man. If you like Black Sabbath, oh my God, this album, I listen to this album at least once a day. It's such an underappreciated, I know I'm going on a tangent, but yeah, this is kind of cool too. I wrote to one of the band members and they wrote me back. I'm not going to expose their address, but it says, "Please do not bend." And that was the photo that he sent back to me. So, oh man, so cool. So cool. Just such a history. Underappreciated artist.
Looking in your eyes tell me
Sorry, I
exactly
went off
that you are hurting inside. I get it, brother. I get it. You're hurting.
And this is the
You're
only
scared.
time we can help you.
Because once we get to a certain point, there's nothing I can
Love
do.
it.
It's in the hands of who
so
has it.
good, man. Listen to that first album. It's so good.
Honesty is always the best policy.
It hits, man. Oh,
You get caught stealing a car, you admit to it, I did it. How can I get help? What can be done to help me? And let me tell you the rest of my story. You're holding
And if
back.
something happened that you were defending yourself, then we need to know.
You love Black Sabbath. You love the Cult. You love that. I wish I could play something right now, but I know I would get nailed. I'd get copywritten. But just look up Danzig first album and listen to it from front to back. Soul on Fire, Mother, just Twist of Cain. There's just so many great songs off the album. It's just so good. Yes. I have I have Cult stuff too. I like the Cult. They're great.
If you were protecting yourself because you were in fear, then that makes sense. But we need to know exactly what happened for you to protect yourself.
You can't minimize this. Once a wise man told me one time, once a bomb goes off, you can't defuse it. You can't. It's already out there. Now is the point to say, how do I put Band-Aids on myself to minimize the injuries I have? And we're giving you that opportunity. I want to give you that opportunity. I don't think you're a bad guy at all. I really don't.
It's not bad. The 70s.
I think you're going through a very stressful and emotional time right now with being out of work and just dealing with all the problems with the arrest. You're probably not used to depending on somebody to pay all your bills. So now you have to do mom and dad or have to give you money. Cody's having to give you money. And there's a significant debt to people. $200,000. I don't know what I do. I mean, mortgage, yeah, I get it, or something like that, or a medical bill for my child, yeah, I get it. But talking to some girl, in Bulgaria, you hit it right on the head. You were embarrassed about it, and you have nothing to be embarrassed about.
And you said you had a connection with her.
Sure.
And
here it is, man. I want to help you. She want to help you. You gotta come to me with the truth now, because I already know the truth.
It's so good. It's so good.
Here's the chance you can
listen,
shake your head no and say, I don't know. You do know, and I know you know. She knows you know.
There's a reason you didn't go back to the house. There's a reason why you.
There's not one bad song on that album. Not of This World is another favorite of mine. Oh, Twist of Cain. Oh, it's so good.
You haven't tried to reach out. I mean, it's odd you haven't heard from anybody.
Yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's words that like I can't think of to even.
It's like the crisp sound of like AC/DC and the Cult with Black Sabbath, and then you have Elvis, Jim Morrison vocals. It's just amazing. And if you want to listen to his earlier stuff, you listen to the punk rock stuff. That's called The Misfits, and that can take you through a huge wormhole with all their stuff. And then when he left Misfits, he went to a band called Sam Hain, and they really were the first. He basically invented goth rock. I mean, he was one of the people that started goth rock, and Sam Hain was leaving that punk, going into kind of rock, and then it eventually got polished out and he became basically Danzig. So, so good. I could talk forever. I could talk forever on that. I could do
But I'm assuming that
you're going in August.
When you see that there is a shooting somewhere that,
I'm going to Boston,
and it's around, and it's
in September,
that it has to do with my family.
Yeah, I can get a list
Your
together.
family has no known enemies. Nobody has a problem with them. Nobody.
Right.
Continue what you were saying. You said when you.
But I mean, that's like I don't.
I like Credence. See, now he's backed into a corner. Now going back to the interrogation. Yeah, he's backed into a corner now. So they're getting him here.
Like, I don't know how to even say the words.
Well, give me a roundabout what you're thinking.
That somebody in my family's dead.
And I killed all of them.
And how does that make you feel if you're thinking that?
I have absolutely no ability to comprehend the words.
That's funny.
Like I said, I've been there for my whole entire life. And even though there's been struggles and everything like that, there hasn't ever been any issues.
There's never been the struggles or the issues.
You want to hear something strange? So this, unfortunately, it's not going to focus, but it does say 0 hour right there. This is a demo tape that I made with my band back in, it was 94, June of 94. What happened in June of 94? O.J. Simpson. I remember the night we literally just got done recording this and we were mixing it. I remember coming home that night from the studio, walking in the house and turning on cable. And my mom was like, have you seen what's going on? And I'm like, what? So they said, O.J. Simpson is, on the 405 being chased by like 30 different cruisers. Apparently he's been implicated in a murder. I don't know if you can, 0 hour right here. This is my band. I actually just bought a tape player so I could play this the other day because I haven't heard it in forever. And I kind of whipped this out. I came across it. I said, I'm going to play this. I used to play in a bunch of bands growing up too. I've shown some of those photos on the streams before, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah, OJ strikes again. Yeah, it's a tape. This is a tape. It's not a CD. This is a tape cassette. It's a cassette tape. You put that in a cassette tape player. 94. God, I feel old.
Like happened Thursday. Never for you. I believe you 100%. I believe it's never been like that.
3 hours.
Something happened Thursday, unlike anything you've ever experienced in 29 years.
And I'll come back and do the other half tomorrow at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll finish this up. And then tomorrow night I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do Idaho. And we're going to get Detective John on tomorrow. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I'm going to reach out to him and we're going to get him on the show and we're going to talk some Idaho stuff. So, all right, let's do this.
Your life. Never.
And maybe you felt that was rock bottom for you. You were getting kicked out of the house. Your father gave you an ultimatum. I mean, that's, you're already dealing with the debt and, now you have to stop talking to this girl and now you're being kicked out of the home. I mean, I can understand how you would feel. I mean, that you'd want to lash out or, if something happened, you'd want to defend yourself.
Sure. Absolutely.
But we need to know what happened.
I mean, I can tell that you guys are like leading me into a certain way of what.
The only thing we're leading you to is want to get the truth from you. Not trying to make you say something that's not true, that's not accurate. The truth, the end. That's it. That's all we want is the absolute truth. Because it's got to come from you. It can't come from us. It can't come from us. Do we know what happened? Yeah, we already know what happened. But it has to still come from you, the truth. Because the parties involved that's in all cases, you want the truth from them. I don't want somebody to say something that's not true. Absolutely not. I want them to say, this is what happened, and here's why it happened. Because sometimes there are things that are justifiable. I'm dealing with a case right now where some people were jumped in a house. There was a shooting, and the people involved in the shooting are not going to be charged because they have the right to defend themselves. Nothing in the state or federal law says you have to be seriously physically harmed or killed. Nothing does. You have a right to defend yourself. Absolutely, you have a right to defend yourself. Sure.
You being hurt or your life.
But Grant, I just need you to come. It's there. It's there. I can see it. It's on the tip of your tongue. You want to say, let me tell you what happened. I'm being honest. I think you're being honest about 95% of the story. I truly do believe you're being honest about that. I think it's that 5% as most people.
John, I have a question if you're still in the chat, and this is a good question from Tsunami. So he's there voluntarily. Do they have to read him his rights if he's there as a volunteer? Because they tell him, you can leave at any time. We're not detaining you. So I don't know if John would know that. I don't know how that works. But I think he's there. His head is violating my rights. But I think if you're there as a volunteer, I don't know. How does that work? Do they have to read your rights? Or can he just he can get up and walk away and they haven't done anything wrong? Yes, because he's a suspect. So only if, okay, only if he's arrested. Okay, I got you. Detective John called via the video from the shower. All right, let's keep playing.
Because they're afraid to actually talk to us and tell us their story. And sometimes we can help justify their story once they tell us the truth. It's a fact. It happens.
He leaves. They arrest him the next day.
That people are afraid to tell things. They're afraid, I'm going to get, you're not going to believe me. You're not going to like me. You're going to think bad of me. It's not the case at all. I have no opinion one way or the other. I don't know you. I don't think bad of you. I just don't know you. If you're a friend, I would think different of you, or somebody I know was something else, or had previous dealings. Yeah, I may have an opinion, but I don't have an opinion of you. I just don't. We don't know each other. We've never contacted each other, have we?
No.
So there's no reason for me. But I've been honest with you the entire time.
See if we can break 40
continue to be honest with you.
You got 39.
Until the remainder of my career at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. I'll always be honest with you. Call me and say, hey, this is. I'm going to tell you. Again, you may not like it, but I'm going to tell you. This is me. And some people don't do that. Some people
show. This is what I mean. Everybody misses out on this great content. That's why I love the smaller show. I've always said I love the smaller shows because the chat is slower. It can react a little bit more. When you have all the too many, and Tanya probably sees this too, it just goes way too fast and you don't feel like you're connecting with everybody. So Tsunami's asked, I wonder if Kohberger had an interview like this. I think in what Laura and I have talked about, I think that Payne did speak with Kohberger now for at least about 10 or 15 minutes. We can't figure out if it was before he went to Pennsylvania or they maybe flew him there and he talked to him or just video called. But we think that he did, and that's when he lawyered up. And we think, and we've talked about was he ever talked with before and then let go? I know some of that conversation has come up too. So, but let's get into that tomorrow. Let's get through this. Detective John says, no, not true. He has to be read as Miranda warning. He is clearly their only suspect. If they don't, this entire conversation would be suppressed. Got it. Yeah, let's talk Idaho tomorrow. I heard he talked for 15 minutes when he was arrested and then he lawyered up. That's the consensus, what we heard. But we thought maybe he might have talked to him kind of in all those initial first interviewings. But I could be wrong on that. But I think we kind of threw around that theory and there was some information out there that was kind of leaving us in that direction as well too. But given his parent IQ, do you think that he actually set him free? The guy could make it home. I don't know how he left his house and made it home most nights. That was in PA. Yeah. All right, let's play through this. We're going to do another about 8 minutes and we'll wrap it up. 3-hour stream, 3-hour banger tonight on Saturday night, hanging out, talking a little music, talking a little crime, having some fun, sharing some of my life stories, shedding some tears. Hey, we had it all on this show tonight. We didn't get John singing, though. John still owes us a song.
Tell you things that are misleading. I'm not going to tell you
He comes on the panel tomorrow night. I'm going to get him to sing.
anything that's misleading. Because that's my word. That's my integrity. That's my character. Now's the time, my friend. I want to help you.
Man.
She wants to help you. And I'm telling you, I'm going to help you. Anything I can do within my power to be honest with you. I'm going to. That's it. But I got to have the truth.
Yeah, we thought that too. Paula, I think he was talked to with before and let go. We think that too, but we're not 100% on that. You know, maybe tomorrow we can do a poll, a chat poll or something. But let me he's gonna call in, I think. I'm gonna drop the link tomorrow for tomorrow's show. So you all can just set your reminders because you won't get the reminder. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We're going to do an Idaho. Tanya, if you want to come over and hang out tomorrow, you're welcome to come on. We're going to get Detective John on the panel. We're going to hang out. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good show. But tomorrow, go in there right now. Go to the link. Click on your remind me, or what does it say? Notify me. Hit the notify me button and then turn that on so you all get that. Yeah, Tanya, if you're not streaming tomorrow and you want to hang out, come over. I'll drop the link. You can pop on with us. Detective John's calling in. All right, what do you got for us, man?
All right. Now, this is for, hey, everyone, this is for pure comedy. Just know that I can't sing, so I became a rapper.
All right.
You know, and
he doesn't want to do this.
But you exposed yourself to some vulnerable stuff tonight, Brian.
Yeah.
And I feel like I owe this little tribute to you because you do need some love, right? So, are you guys ready for a little LL Cool J straight up 80s?
God, he's
this. I mean, I like all music.
Yeah, me too.
You know, but going back to, you know, I'm in my early 50s, so if you don't know some LL,
I do know LL. Yeah.
Yeah. You ready? Now this is just the hook. This isn't the whole thing. Now,
can you hear? I just want to make sure the chat can hear you. If you can hear John, throw a 1 in the chat. I just want to make sure they can hear you. All right.
Now, if this goes platinum or anything, I want some royalties. And hopefully LL won't get pissed that I shred his song up this bad.
All
Or
right.
he might get pissed because I just rock it. I don't know.
Lindsay just threw up the Lindsay did it. She said she put her money where her mouth was. She gave that $100. Lindsay, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. We appreciate it. She said this is
then I'm just gonna hang up.
Yeah, you let him off easy, Lindsay.
Done.
You let him off easy. So she said this is the best $100 I've ever spent. All right, she says pump
the world. I haven't sung this song except in the shower last night.
She says pump up the volume. So
you ready?
Oh God. Why do I feel I feel embarrassed for you?
See, you messed me up. You just cut me off. I was getting into the flow. See that? All right. You ready?
Yeah.
There was giggling about the games that I had played with many hearts, and I'm not saying no names. Then a thought occurred, teardrops in my eyes burned, because I said to myself, look what you've done to her. I can feel it inside. I can't explain how it feels. All I know is that I never dish another raw deal, playing make-believe, pretending that I'm true, hoping in my life that I say that I love you, saying no more, kissing you on the ear, whispering I love you when I always be here. Although I often reminisce, I can't believe that I found a desire for true love floating around inside my soul, because my soul is cold. One half of me that I just so I'm old, but the other half is affection and joy and a warmth that is
Ding, 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 ding,
All right, that's it.
ding, 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 ding. I need love.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
That's the best that I can do, everyone. Hopefully you won't have nightmares or you didn't puke in your mouth or anything like that.
The chat's loving it, man. The chat's loving it.
I cracked myself up.
That's good stuff, man. I put the glasses on and everything too.
Hey, and real quick, I don't know what happened today. I don't know, but it's just haters, man. I'm over the haters, and I don't belong to anybody. So if anybody gets mad that I come to somebody else's show to talk,
with all due credit, T-Rev in the tweet said, "Me and John." He said, I don't want to. I'm not quoting. I'm kind of just playing it back in my head, but he said, I decided to move on, and basically was like, I wish everybody luck. So it was no hate. I think it was someone that was trying to drum up something, and him and I were just like, what is going on right now?
And I wouldn't expect that. The bottom line is, everyone looks at things from a differently.
100%.
I don't look at me starting my own, show as a competition thing.
Right. I
look at it as, it's me just venturing out. I'm going to bring a little bit of a different perspective than everybody.
Right.
I'm going to have different. I'm just not going to talk about true crime. I'm going to talk about politics. I'm going to have a storytelling, session, where we talk about. I don't want to give it up now.
Yeah. Don't give away the trade
that,
secrets.
Right, and you're going to be a part of that, and T-Rev is awesome, man. Now that's a great rapper right there.
He's good. He is good.
I suck. but it's just, I just can't. If anyone gets upset because I go to come to your show, and I'm not saying T-Rev did that,
right,
but some people in the T-Rev family, looked at that as a traitor or something. I'm not a traitor. What are you talking about? T-Rev isn't on every day. He goes through times where he's not on for a week.
Right.
So I'm jonesing at night sometimes, and I just start to troll around. And if I see somebody's on a topic, and I jump in chat, but I've never jumped on panel. You're the only other person I've ever been on panel with.
Yeah.
T-Rev popped my cherry. I got excited. Now I'm going to start my own show. Bottom line.
Nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I look at it as, if you look at, and again, I hate to say or make the comparison of us against them, but
sure.
There are two perspectives here on true crime.
Yep.
There are those that are pro, law enforcement and believe in the rule of law, and no matter what anyone thinks, the United States of America is a nation of laws.
100%.
We have a constitution. We have to uphold our constitution, and we fight for rights, and that's what differentiates countries. I mean, you can't have shows like this in Russia,
right,
or you can't walk across the border and you get shot.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do those things. So
right.
That's what this nation's about. And there's people have different thoughts, and it is kind of an us against them scenario in my opinion. When it comes to true crime, because you have those just hate the police no matter what. No matter
100%.
what, they hate the police until they're a victim.
Right.
Then they want the police.
Well, yeah, I always joke about that too. When you're in trouble, who's the first people that you're going to call?
Right. If they quarterback, and I listen to other creators sideline quarterbacking an investigation that they have no clue
right
as to what they're even talking about.
Yep.
And I don't.
Oop, did I lose him? I'm losing him.
Can you hear me?
I got you now. Yep.
So I don't know what did you hear? Did you hear?
You said that there's some other creators that don't know much about the cases that they're talking
about. Right. Basically, they get on and they sideline quarterback
Right.
You know, not only an investigation, but the legal process in general from the state side. That, you know, you have one creator that gets on and does this, you know, nails on the chalkboard laugh.
Sure.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the nails on the chalkboard laugh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. You know, it's just pathetic, bro.
Yep.
And she talks like and I get on and I'm like, so what qualifies you to
Right.
opine to any of this? Boom. And I'm blocked. You know,
Right.
that's the only thing I said. You know, it's just, you know, if you don't follow their narrative, and that's not the way you are, that's not the way that I would be.
Right.
You know, if somebody wants to come onto the show and voice their
Sure.
opinion, then fine. And we should all be able to, you know, bang knuckles and, you know, agree and come back tomorrow.
There's people that I've had there's people that I've had on my panel that I don't agree with. I want to hear from all sides. You know, I want to hear from all sides. So
and you know, and T-Rev caught a lot of heat for having me on the show because, you know, let's face it, you know, I've been in homicide, I've been in property crimes, I've been in street crimes, I've been in narcotics, I've been in every aspect, sex crimes, I've done it all. I mean, I wasn't just one-dimensional detective, and then I went into the private sector for nearly a decade, and that's where the money's at. Sorry, I'm just going to say it.
Right.
I made almost 4 times as much money in the private sector. When I started as a cop, I made $18,500 a year.
Yeah.
That's what I made as a cop. Now, the only way that I made money was because the area that I live in was a spring break mecca of America for a long time. You know, we have bike week, race week, all special events, and that's where I made all my money.
Mm-hmm.
But then the city decided, okay, why would we pay John, you know, $30 to stand at an intersection and work traffic and click a light with a clicker when we can pay an auxiliary, you know, minimum wage and do the same thing. So we found ourselves training, you know, auxiliaries, and, you know, just took all of our money away. So there was no incentive to really stay. I mean, I had a family, you know, I have 5 kids, you know, so
God bless you.
You know, and I was working my ass off.
Yeah.
You know, so when I could go to the private sector, still worked my ass off, but be a suit and tie, company car, phone, you know, you name it, allowances, and traveling all over, and, you know, learning the ins and outs of a lot of stuff in the HR field too.
Yeah.
Now, you know, a lot of cops are recruited to do those jobs. So that's what I did, and it made me more well-rounded. And, you know, I'd like to say that I've got really more experience than 30-plus year law enforcement retired detectives that stayed for 30 years.
Sure.
So,
well,
and they hated that, bro. They hated that when I came on the T-Rev show.
Yeah.
T-Rev got a lot of hit and the other creators hated it too, because, you know, let's face it, there's no one really that challenged anything that they said.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I was, you know, challenging them, so to speak. I was just kind of educating them, telling them, no, you know what you're saying, and, you know, I get what you think you know, but it's really not the truth. I mean, that's not the way we conduct investigations. That's not the way, you know, interviews are handled, or that's not the way we do surveillance, things like that. You know, people are saying, you know, we'll talk tomorrow when I come on the show.
I was going to say,
handle some of that stuff. When you were talking about, you know, the DK, do I think DK ran his mouth? Yeah, and there's a legal term for that, and I'll tell you guys all about it. Stay tuned tomorrow night. I'll do that.
So real quick, I was going to say,
I
was going to say real quick, let's just finish on this note, and then we're going to wrap the stream up because it's 3 hours, man. Like, I got to get to bed here too. Man. I got some shit I got to do tomorrow, but So Truth and Justice Matters says, I was in the chat when Detective John first called into T-Rev, and he always was level-headed and explained things that we couldn't understand. His perspective was appreciated. And yeah, absolutely, man. You know, the interactions I've had with you the last 2 nights have been very level-headed. I appreciate, you know, you jumping on and doing this. And, you know, we had a little fun this evening. I appreciate that. And, you know, I'll look forward to you coming over to the panel tomorrow. I'll get an email off to you with the StreamYard link, and we'll plan for 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And I'll send you all the deets in the email. And I think Tanya, if she's around, I told her she wants to jump on with us. She can. Be great to have all three of us on here.
I'd love to talk with her.
Yeah.
It's 12 minutes after midnight here. What time is it there?
Same.
No.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're Eastern. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll do it. So,
all right.
Hey, I look forward to hopefully we'll get a bunch of people on. I'll even field questions.
Okay.
Want to call them?
Yeah.
Set up that.
We'll do something.
People want to put questions in the chat, and your mod break those questions down.
Cool.
If you want to ask some questions, absolutely, man. I'm yours, man.
Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. All right, brother. I'll send you off an email. We'll get all that set up, and we'll go from there.
All right, peace out.
All right. Have a good night. Cool. So Detective John's going to jump on the panel with me tomorrow. Titanium Built's going to be here and hang out. I'm going to get everybody their links out. We'll do a green room. John, if you're still listening, we'll do like a green room at 8:30 just to warm up a little bit. We can talk about what we want to discuss. And I think it's going to be a great show. I'm going to redo probably the title for the show. I'm going to tag Titanium in it, and I'm going to get Detective John's name up there, and we're going to blow up the internet tomorrow. I'm telling you, people are going to go wild. It's going to be a good one. So yeah, everybody get their battle armor out, because I'm sure everybody will be out, but it's going to be a good one. Listen, before everybody heads out of here and runs out of here, I just want to let you know this seriously has been one of the best shows that I've had in a long time. It was to the heart. I appreciate all the support. All the super chats were amazing tonight. All the channel members being here. Titanium Built for hanging out for almost 2 hours. Detective John hanging out for almost 2 hours. All of you that care about this channel for 2 hours. I'm going to come back probably later in the afternoon tomorrow to try to finish up the rest of this interrogation. If I don't, then we'll bump it over to another time. But I definitely want to get into getting through this interrogation and then getting into the trial, because I think you all need to see the trial. It's been pretty crazy. But wow, a 3-hour banger. You guys all hung out through a 3-hour banger. We're gonna have a fun show tomorrow night. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're over here. Detective John, Titanium Built, Tanya will be on the channel live with me tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're gonna put a banger together for you. I promise you guys. Everybody, be well. I'm gonna answer the emails that I got tomorrow. Rising from the ashes, I will answer you. I promise. That was a touching email. I will answer you. I promise you. So everybody, set your reminders for tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. I don't want to go, but I have to go. I need to get some sleep, and you all need to get some sleep too. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.